doing it. You supposed to be happy you sitting there with Kid L. Why you mad?
The Kid L podcast.
Pot the juice.
The juice, man.
Rocking and rolling. We have Josh Adams in the building. What's happening?
What's up, yeah?
First stand-up comic ever to be on my podcast, man.
Yeah, and I didn't believe it when you told me, but I'll take it.
Yeah, because we were talking about the difference between, comedians, entertainers, and stand-ups. There is a difference, right? Usually when I say comedian, I'm talking about stand-up comedian. The guys who get on stage, the guys who are in front of the crowds, the guys who are doing crowd work, all of that added. And then, there's like Instagram comedians, there's like YouTube comedians, there's entertainers is more so in my mind. How do you said like you had like a different outlook on that. How do you look at that?
Well, the game kind of changed. So it's like a pronoun, and you can kind of identify as whatever you want to. To these kids, like if people watching on their phones, these motherfuckers is comedians, and then they do get the opportunity to do stand up. Mm-hmm. So they in their head, I'm a comedian. He comedian. I'm like, no, he's just a funny motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? With editing software on their phone. So I learned to just be like, cool, dog, they a comedian. I ain't tripping. So that's why when you said it, I was like, no, dog, comedian, because I know you had other people on here. But you right. If I'm the first stand-up is like a different muscle that we work all together. So yeah, it's some different shit.
Yeah, I heard Marlon Wayans was talking about it one time. He was like, yeah, you guys can do it for a minute on social media, but can you do it for 30 minutes like we're doing it? Can you do it for an hour like we're doing it? Can you make a movie out of it? He's like, that's what transcends anything, because almost damn near anybody can make something funny if they have a minute to work with. And people are just scrolling and stopping. All respects to them, all love to them, but there is a different respect you have for comedy stand-ups or people who are even in movies and can run and hold the whole thing on their own. But anyway, I'm not throwing shade on anyone. I'm just saying
it ain't no shade, but like you said, like even me trying to get more into doing the videos, because you learn, like you adapt, you don't adapt. It's like it's definitely an outlet there for comedians, stand-ups to get it and grow their audience and then be able to tour and do what the fuck you want to do. Yeah. So it's like, if I can learn and be like, all right, let me figure out how I can do my shit on here and make it work. And get on here and be like, all right, what do I think is funny? And edit it, put it together the right way. Then, you start seeing some traction from it, and then it only helps with it. So it is a skill to what they do, and it is viable. And like I said, you'll be stupid like a stand-up to not try to put it in your shit. Just don't be corny with it and chase what they doing. Figure out what worked for you and do it.
Right, because I did watch, I'm not going to name any names. I've seen some really, really big Instagram comedians try stand-up and fail miserably. And I've also seen some stand-up comics try to do Instagram stuff, and it comes out terribly. So it's like those two things, even though they're in the same genre of entertainment, are
Have you seen somebody get better? A stand-up? I have. But I mean, have you seen somebody do videos that wasn't doing videos and get better? Like, have you seen somebody be like, oh, I see
I've
where
never seen a stand-up hop into content creation as far as making skits and progress, like, and make better quality skits because of that.
Yeah.
I've seen, again, comedians from Instagram go on stand-up, and I haven't seen a real return for them either. They go to places where people know who they are, and so it's easy to just say whatever they got to say, but they can't work a new crowd.
I was on the first show with HaHa.
For real?
Like when HaHa first went on tour, like we did it at Go Comedy. Mm-hmm. And he was like, man, I want you to, because he always fucked with me. He was like, hey, I'm doing this thing. I'm about to put the tour together. I want you to be on the first show. And we did the first show. And he was what he was at the time, but from what I heard, I ain't seen him in a while. He getting better at it, and I see him moving around and shaking. Yeah. But like DC Young Fly, probably the only motherfucker I seen flawlessly put it together in a way to where it's like, oh, as a stand-up, he getting off. And he ain't really doing the videos no more, but he definitely started off on, I think it was Snapchat, roasting motherfuckers. And I mean, he took that Snapchat was what, 6 seconds? Yeah. Nigga grew that into a whole career. So it's possible if you put the work in.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely possible. Let's get into you though, man. Josh Adams. Where's Josh Adams from, man?
Oak Park, Michigan.
Cool. Now, first time I saw you was
Starbucks.
insane. No, well,
niggas know I was fucking with you before everybody. Well, I was supposed to.
That's facts, but I seen you before that.
Oh, where you see me at?
I seen you at your Trick Tricks event. You were hosting. You were doing a comedy host for his tape. It was at the Little Caesars Post.
Yeah, that was that.
Yep. Yeah. So I walk in, and I'm a huge fan of comedy stand-up since I'm a kid, since I'm like 8 years old. Yeah. I come in, and this is the first time I'm actually at like a local small event watching a comedian on stage. I've never seen a small gig like that before. And the fact that it was a rap-oriented thing, and you were doing comedy was like, it stood out to me. But the thing that stood out about you was this. It was loud. Everybody's just talking. Meanwhile, you're on stage trying to get everybody's attention. You just kept going through your fucking comedy idea, and you started talking about squirrels fucking or something. Yeah. the whole room stopped and just started staring at you and watching you and laughing and
Yeah.
like committing and like being a part of it. And everybody was silencing themselves to like listen to you. And I was like, oh my God, this crowd control is fucking insane.
That's what the crazy thing about it is, especially in Detroit. I can only speak for here, but I mean, it's probably everywhere. We end up doing comedy in places where comedy don't really belong.
Yeah.
And then we have to really flex that muscle to get people to pay attention. And once we do, you know, we kind of capture that moment. Because that was like, everybody was smoking in that bitch. I don't really do shows, not no more when niggas smoke at. But this trick, so this bitch smoked out the hardest niggas in the city, politicians. You know, he got a wide variety of motherfuckers that fuck with him, not he smoke weed. So it was just a wild ass crowd. And it was like just, but like you said, once I was up there, it was like they was there. You can play music. Like people be loud and you can do the music shit when people are being loud. But then it's like comedy, you need people's attention because you build that tension and then you break it. If you never get a chance to build the tension to break it, then you kind of horn yourself. So, I mean, we figure it out in Detroit. Like, that's just kind of how we cut most comedians. We can do that shit anywhere.
Yeah, no, it was spectacular to see, man.
That's crazy. I do remember that now.
Yeah, man, it was incredible. I was sitting next to Sweets. I was sitting next to him, and then I was watching him. Like, how the fuck did everybody just stop and listen to you about squirrels fucking? It was incredible. But back to you growing up here, though, too, man. So you grew up in Oak Park.
Yeah.
What was it like early days? Did you always know you wanted to be an entertainer?
Yeah, I always did. Like, I remember the first thing I ever saw that made me want to be a comedian, like, just to be fun, like, to be funny. Like, it was a movie called Low Down Dirty Shame, Keenan Ivory Wayans did. Like, it's like one of my favorite movies all the time. And then watching, like, blooper reels from, like, The Fresh Prince and Martin at the end, I just thought that shit was so fun to be like, y'all doing the thing, so what, y'all doing this thing, and then y'all all just start laughing out of motherfucking nowhere, and you break character. I was like, that's the coolest shit ever. And from there, it was like, I need to figure out how I can be a part of that. And Tommy Davidson, he did a stand-up called Illin in Philadelphia that came on Showtime. Might have been HBO, but those were the first things in my mind that made me be like, damn, that's something that I probably would want to do. But when I was a kid, it's Detroit, I didn't really know how to, if even possible. You think the motherfuckers like fall out of a spaceship, nigga. Like, you don't be knowing how to get involved in shit like that until you run into it.
When did you feel like you knocked at the door and took that chance, and where did you find that chance at?
Well, my teacher, my broadcast and arts teacher, because I was always the funniest nigga in school, like always, just from whatever grade I was in till I got grown. And my broadcast and arts teacher pulled me to the side because I would just always do my thing. And she was like, you ever thought about doing stand-up? And I was like, and I did in my head. It was almost like, only thing I compare to is a nigga being gay and you don't want to come out and tell everybody. Like, I know that's a weird-ass way to break it down, but it was like, niggas just didn't look at comedy. Wasn't cool. It wasn't cool to try to be funny. It was cool to just be a funny motherfucker. So she was like, she said something about, you ever thought about doing stand up? And I was like, nah, I ain't never thought no shit like that. But in my head, I was like, this bitch knows something. Like, I really kind of do want to do this shit. So I tell my girl at the time, I was like, why? I put some extra sauce on. I was like, why Miss send me and say she can get me on Comic View? And then my girl was like, nigga, you funny. You ain't that funny. And I was like, yeah, bitch, you right. And that show you how important a woman is to you. Because had she said the right shit, nigga, when I was 17, I'd have started comedy. But I didn't. So it, like, life went by. Well, not too much life went by. I graduated. Once I realized I wasn't going pro at football, I moved to Mississippi, and then I was like, I'm finna start comedy out here. So I started, like, Googling or whatever the internet was at the time, like printing out paperwork where all the comedy clubs was at near where I moved. I moved to Philadelphia, Mississippi with my dad. So it was a club in Alabama, one in New Orleans. So I'm finding all these clubs, and in my head, I'm like, nigga, I'm gonna start somewhere where don't nobody know me. So if I'm garbage, fuck y'all. Y'all don't know me, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So once I moved down there, fucked around, fell in love, started fucking on some girl, and then comedy was in the back of my mind. Then I moved home, and then I started here in 05, 06.
05, 06 is when you replanted in Detroit.
I came back home and started comedy here.
Yeah. What was your first entries? What clubs were you figuring out about?
First thing happened, I came back bullshitting around with my homeboy, and we was visiting my dude on Wayne State campus. And while we was there, we was just running around trying to fuck with some hoes. We was just on some young wild shit. And I saw this dude I went to high school with named Clayton. And Clayton was down there. He was like, hey, we finna perform for the fraternity right now. They doing like a Apollo night. He's like, bro, I'm a comedian now, nigga. You was the funniest nigga in school, and I always said I was gonna get you into comedy. I was like, that's weird, nigga, but all right, that you be still thinking about me like that. Cool, that's my nigga though. He in LA now doing his motherfucking thing. And I watched them niggas perform, and he gave me a flyer of a place that they was hosting a comedy show at every Wednesday. It was called I forgot what the place was called. I used to do a joke about it. I can't remember what the name of the place was called. But basically, once I seen that he was doing comedy at this place, I watched him perform, and I pulled up at the spot they did it at, And I just watched, and then I left. And then we were talking on the phone. He's like, man, when you gonna start? And I was like, man, I'm gonna start next year. And he was like, nah, dog, start now. And this was like May or whenever Memorial Day is. I remember that was the first day I started. So whatever month that was, what is that? When is Memorial Day?
The first of, you would know, Nick. You're a veteran.
Nick, you a veteran?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Well, whenever that's wild as fuck.
Okay.
But basically, like I'm saying, like, yeah, it was whenever Memorial Day that month was, I was gonna wait till the next year. And he was like, nah, man, do that shit now. So it was either May, March, or whatever. So I started literally on Memorial's Day. And nigga, I ain't stopped since, bro. Like, I went up there, I did good, and nigga, I just ain't never stopped.
Yeah, that's the hardest part, I think, is knowing you're gonna drive somewhere and fucking get in front of people and just cut up and like not knowing if you're gonna feel rejected or not or what's gonna happen. Because I struggle with getting on stage. Like, I want to go do it.
You want to do comedy?
I do, but
funny.
there's a respect to it that I have where it's like, okay,
A lot of people don't have it though.
What is it?
The respect for it.
Yeah, that's why I don't do it. It's because I know, like, hey man, this is a real craft. You don't just get on stage and just like you're funny or like because you told your boys to pull up.
But you should try it.
I will try it one day when I have enough time to respect the craft and build with it.
Yeah, it's one of them things where like I'm hearing where you coming from. Like, you may fuck around and fall in love with it, or you may just be like, all right, something on my bucket list and fuck it. Like, I want to do it.
No, it's something that I feel like if you're right, absolutely, and I just want to make sure I have the fucking time for it because I don't want to do it. Like, you know how people drop a rap song, like, I'm gonna be a rapper, and then it's like they drop one song, it's like, all right, but I don't even have time to continue doing this. So like, I want to give it its time because it's a real just like acting is a real fucking craft. Like everything about it.
I always say that it's crazy especially when I see somebody not doing good. Like when I see somebody bombing, because the thing about it, you gonna bomb in comedy. Like, you're not trying if you're not bombing. And that's what people don't get. And when I see people bomb, especially people who kind of like, they don't respect it, I be looking like, this is really a wild thing that we fuck with, because it's like, you go up there to be judged every time. Like, it ain't like music. Like, nigga, you can play a song and it not be sweet. Niggas don't react to it. They just look at you until the song over with and then you did your shit. Yeah. Comedy, it's a conversation almost, just without them saying something. So it's like, boom, I give them something and they give me their reaction as the response. So when you see motherfuckers not responding, it's like the craziest shit in the world. So to hear you say that, we do think about that shit.
Yeah, no, I talked to Tattoo Man Page, and he said that before he got on stage for the first time, he already put it in his head that he's gonna bomb. I think that's what he said. I think he said, like, he was like, I went in knowing, like, if I bomb, I bomb. Like, he's like, I'm going to go in with everything I got.
I don't think that's the way to go about it. You should not give a fuck if you bomb, but don't go in there thinking you going to bomb. Because I think when you do that, I'm just big on nigga manifestation. If you go in there and say I'm a bomb or this going to happen, that shit, not 9 out of 10 to happen. But I get where you're coming from, like, fuck it. It's more the attitude of fuck it. That's what he's saying.
That's what he was saying. Yeah, like, fuck it. Like, I'm going in with everything. Like, people fail. People bomb. It happens. It's part of the game.
It's going to happen. Kevin Hart and them bomb. Dave Chappelle and them bomb. Like, people think, like, any comedian I talk to, they be like, bro, I ain't never bombed. It's like, well, nigga, you probably really don't do this shit for real.
I've seen Chappelle 3 times. The first time I saw him was Oddball Fest. I fucking freaked out when I saw him because he's like my idol of all comedians. Second time I saw him, it was like a more intimate theater nearby. I forget which one it was, but it was like I was 15 feet away from him. Like, I was fucking super close.
That's the best way to see comedy too.
Yeah, like really a close, intimate crowd. I know he likes smaller crowds, so it was like a random like a thing he did. And then I seen his last one, which was at, I think, Little Caesars or something. That one I wasn't a fan of because it was like, I think sometimes comedians get their politics involved or like their real thoughts about stuff. And it's too real sometimes where you just want to laugh. But like, you're also listening to a person who's wise and like has a message to convey. Yeah. But you're also there to laugh at the same time too.
Chappelle done evolved though to that's where he more of a I can't think of the word, but it's like he up there, he's almost, every time he talks, it's almost like a speech. Yeah. It's like, you gonna laugh. You know what I'm saying? He ain't trying to make you laugh, but you're eventually gonna laugh, but that ain't the whole point. Like, I was thinking about that not too long ago where I realized, like, I started feeling like I had to have a message behind what I was saying. Then I was like, nah, my nigga, I just want to go up here and be funny. Like, if I get to that place, yeah, but I'm not going to let what I think the market is switching to dictate where I'm going. Like, nigga, I got into this to have fun. Now, if I get into it and do some political shit and it's fun to me, yeah. But I ain't Jon Stewart. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm Josh, and the shit I have, and I have my feelings about stuff that I feel strongly about, and I do that. But I get what you're saying. But if you're going to see Chappelle, he most likely going to have not an agenda, but he just gonna tell you about how the fuck he feel, and then you will get a laugh here and there. It's not gonna be like if you going to see, Bill Burr is just gonna tear that bitch apart.
Well, the blend is there, right? Like the blend in bringing in the politics with making you laugh at the same time. Like early Chappelle was like that, like Killing Him Softly. I mean, even the jokes he would have about Native Americans, and he would like blend it properly. So it's like he's saying some real ass political shit and some truth.
Yeah.
But there's a comedy blend with it. I feel like now with where
Now it's more Martin Luther King than it is.
and I understand why he's doing it, because he's been through some fucking shit where it's like,
yeah.
fuck you guys, like fuck you, like. But the thing is, it's like not fuck the audience though.
But what's
Like-
funny is he turned into what he made fun of Ja Rule being when they was like, we've got Ja Rule on the phone.
Who gives a fuck with
And
that?
it's like, nobody fuck. But now it's like, we want to know what Chappelle thinks about nigga the submarine shit. Just with all comedians. But it's like, really with the political shit, you like, I want to hear what he do have to say about whatever is going on that's serious in the world.
Yeah.
So it's funny that he even, you speak a lot of shit into it. You don't realize what we speak into existence. But I feel what you're saying. Like, it is some comedians who like I go to open mics, and a lot of these comedians, especially in the mainstream rooms, they always feel like they have to say something. And it's like, be funny first. Figure out how to use the thing and then apply it to the art.
Right.
But if you just going up here trying to spill what you think about this, nigga, I don't give a fuck what you think about the transgenders. That shit wasn't funny, my nigga. Like, you just up here spilling shit. And once you funny, you can damn near, it's like a singer. They used to say, Luther Vandross can open up the phone book and sing that bitch. That's how good he can sing. Once you funny, nigga, it's nothing you can't make funny. So get funny first, and then after that, you can go that route.
Right. And you got to develop this when you first started. Like you took the whole ride. You didn't stop. Obviously, like you're still doing it. You're still involved in it. Talk about the early stages, even for somebody who like me who might want to jump into comedy or try it out. Talk about the early stages for you. What was the mindset, and how did you get through the hardest times of being a stand-up comic?
I mean, earlier, bro, I just went up, grabbed as many mics as I could. You know, I knew I just needed a 5-minute set. Like, that's what I tell the comedians. Like, now, like, when you knew, bro, just get 5 minutes and work that bitch. And from there, go everywhere. Like, I was one of the few dudes who would go to the white rooms, go to the black rooms, do churches. Nigga, I was everywhere doing it. Like, so I could be me in every room. It wasn't nowhere that I couldn't do my motherfucking thing. And then I was already naturally funny. Like, I don't like to tell a lot of motherfuckers that. They be like, was you good early? I was like, you know, that don't matter. But I was like naturally funny coming in. So I kind of got off early. So yeah, I had 5 minutes, but I also had the ability to improvise, which I kind of, you know, it's just naturally me. I'm able to kick it like that. So, I mean, you gonna go up, man. You gotta go up, and like you said, like at that trick shit, nigga, I'ma run the material like at that time, because it's like, nigga, I can't really fuck around and freestyle because these niggas ain't paying attention. I have to just run my material. So that shit you just learn from watching other comedians and then going up and experiment, because you gonna see every kind of obstacle you can. You're gonna deal with a heckler. You're gonna deal with crowds that don't give a fuck. You're gonna deal with somebody who bombed before you and pissed the crowd off, and now you gotta bring the motherfuckers back up. You got to deal with a motherfucker murdering in front of you, and then you gotta follow that bar that he set, even though once you realize it, you really only in competition with yourself. The other audience not really like, oh, he wasn't as funny as the other guy. Very few motherfuckers say that shit. In reality, nigga, they just here to have a good time as a comedy show.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just like, man, you go out, you grab a mic, man, and you just get your shots up, nigga. This shit ain't it's a marathon for real, bro. Like, niggas, like, very few people blow up overnight, dog. That shit usually like, nigga, this shit take time. Nigga, 10 years is really a real amount of time to really start figuring this shit out and getting money.
Yeah.
And hitting the road and getting funny and finding your voice.
For sure. I mean, even Adam Sandler, I saw like one of his stand-up sets, and it was so fucking long ago. It was like way before he was on SNL.
Yeah.
Way before all that shit. It's like, wow, these guys have been. I think they said Kevin Hart too. Like Kevin Hart was doing stand-up forever before he hit.
Man, them niggas it'd be a long time. Like, by the time we catch up with them, these niggas be 15, 16 years in the game.
God damn.
Like, nigga Lil Rel, like, he blew up in Get Out. Like, Lil Rel was like, this nigga done been in every movie it is that done blew up. The Bird Box, like, that nigga was the nigga. And I remember seeing him in Chicago and seeing him fucking go from that to somehow supposed to do the new reboot of Living Color. Then it turned into some show that they did on I want to say True TV, man. Forgive me, I don't know what it was, but it was a sketch show. And from that, he got in that in Get Out with Peel, and then he blew up. So it's like, the grind is real. Like, nigga, the shit don't really, it take a minute. Like, that's why I hate all these new motherfuckers coming in now, because comedy cool. Kevin Hart kind of made comedy cool again.
Yeah.
For like the average motherfucker to be like, oh, I want to do that now. Like, it wasn't for a while. Like, it kind of just, comedy wasn't a thing. Everybody probably, I don't know if it was rap. I don't know what niggas was doing then, but now all of a sudden everybody want to do comedy and they feel like they put the right video up, they'll blow up, and then they can do stand-up comedy and travel and do all that shit. And it's like, nigga, it ain't that easy.
Yeah. And there's a truth behind a real comedian and a person who's doing it for like ulterior reasons or ulterior motives, or they don't really have like a true passion behind it. The thing that scares me more than anything is that there's comedians out there that their platform is so big and they sell seats because of that, but the actual show is garbage. I've been to them. I've had a famous stand-up comedian come to Michigan, and I'm like, or not even, sorry, a famous social media person come in and he's doing a stand-up special, and I go to the show and I'm like, this was fucking absolute trash because you're not a stand-up. And that's the thing for me. It's like, there are a lot of people who are breaching the doors because they have a platform. They can promote any event and make it happen.
Yeah, they can fill seats up.
Yeah,
and
but
like
they don't
I
have that
say,
talent.
Like I say, bro. Charlie Sheen did it. Wendy Williams did it. I actually got to open up for her at the soundboard. Like, if you got an audience, people will come see you do it. And in reality, the people that want to come see you do that, they ain't coming to see you do stand up. They coming to see you do whatever it is the fuck you do. So if you can figure out like Drewski, in my opinion, I don't know what his stand-up like, but his show ain't a stand-up show. It's him doing whatever he's doing on social media. Now, that would be the trick. Find out what the fuck people like you for on there. Take that and then do that on stage. But don't get up there and try to do stand-up if you don't do it, unless you're going to pay a motherfucker to write for you, which I done that before, too. It's like, yeah, all right, nigga, you a social media nigga, and you about to do a big college show. I'll write you 5, 7, 10, 25 minutes. Nigga, just tell me and we'll figure out the price. So do that, but then you still, even me giving you this material, nigga, you got to come holler at me. We got to go run this shit at a comedy show, and then we got to tweak it and figure out how to make it work and make it sound like this coming from you.
Oh, so comedians do have like writers or people helping them.
Yeah, them niggas got writers. A lot of these niggas got writers. A lot of the most famous people. And then some writing is different. Some shit might be like, if we all hang out with the nigga, hey, bro, do this with this joke. I know you say the shit about the frog. Maybe the frog should do this. Go try that next time. So some people do that, and then some niggas straight up be like, hey, bro, I got this dog-ass bit, nigga, about Teslas. Boom, bam, boom. Take that bitch. Do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of that
there's
shit.
a business in it. That's pretty cool. I didn't know there's like an underground kind of business to it.
I wrote for some niggas, and you just be like, cool, take it. I improvise so much on stage, niggas be like, hey bro, can I do that shit about, take that shit about, all right, what shit about your ass? The shit you said about your ass. To the point where I'm like, I gotta stop doing that because I probably can use it again.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like comedians giving up material, like, yo, can I use your bit? And then that bit turns into something you can't even use anymore.
Because, yeah, like, I can improvise some shit, and then some shit is just only going to be funny for right now.
For sure, man. You got to look at, like, what happened with Carlos Mencia and Joe Rogan, right? Like, Carlos Mencia was, like, kind of biting off of other people's styles and jokes and stuff like that, and then he translated it into his own comedy. Yeah. And he would also ask some of his friends if he could take their jokes and not realize, like, how big those jokes would actually do. And some of their acts suffered because of that. And, you know, he was able to
He was taking classic shit, too. Like, he took some shit from Bill Cosby.
Yep, the football
and he
story.
just took it and did it in a Mexican version of it. So it's, or, you know what I'm saying, Mexican, Spanish. I don't know what to call that nigga. My bad, bro. But, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's some bullshit. Like, it's thievery and shit going around in the game, for sure. Like, funny thing is, a lot of these social media comedians that take a joke they hear a stand-up do and turn it into a video. I've seen that. I've seen it a bunch of times, and it'd be like, you don't really trip about it, but it's like, some stand-ups feel a way about that, and then this nigga got all these views, and he gets all these followers, and it's like, well, damn, at least be like, hey, I was inspired by this motherfucker, so niggas might can go follow dog. But if you just gonna take somebody's shit, you gonna come to the comedy show, sit in the show, laugh, slap hands with a nigga, and then go home and then shoot that video. It's like, nigga, at least put the nigga in the video. Do something to show some love. Like, we get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, everybody can't come up with their own shit. But it's like, nigga don't mind showing you some love if you want to just be cool.
Well,
about
I heard that's a true thing in the stand-up world, that a comedian can go on stage, do his bit, and then a stand-up will come on after and do part of their bit or take some type of style just throw it in their face, almost like they don't give a fuck that they're even doing it type shit.
Yeah, some whole shit.
Or hear some shit beforehand and then use it before the other person. Like, there used to be that guy Dice Clay. Yeah. Like, he said that one time a guy had come in with a leather jacket before he had come on, and he knew Dice was going on, but he put on the leather jacket before Dice, and he did the whole bit before Dice could do it. And it was like, there was that kind of aggression and competitiveness in the comedy world where, like, I'll knock you off or I'll do that.
Well, that's cornball shit.
Is that still relevant, though?
Yeah, like, you know, I'm headlining and shit now. So sometimes, like, if I'm doing multiple shows, like, you know, you're doing 1 Thursday, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, and your feature will go up and be like, here, see, you do some shit that work, and be like, oh, I got a joke about prescription pills. And it's like, well, nigga, I ain't really tripping, but don't go up and step on my shit. Because, I mean, I'm freestyling, but like, nigga, I may trigger that bit in my mind and say it. And now that I said it, it may take some off of it because you did it. But I've learned that, nigga, you really can't do it better than I do it, no way. But people do that, and I don't know if it's competitive or if somebody just like, ooh, okay, now I can try this bit out. And it's just a weird interaction, and I'm learning to just kind of like, I kind of let niggas live until they get disrespectful.
Right. With all this that we're getting into, bro, we gotta talk about your timeline so that people know like how strong your points are because you've been through all of it, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Talk about the continuations. Well, let's talk about the early days, obviously, for the comedians that are watching. Like you said, you had to get through did you bomb at first? Like, were you a bomber at the beginning?
I mean, I had bad shows, but I didn't. That's why I don't like to tell niggas, because motherfuckers get the idea. Like, you are supposed to be bad in the beginning. As a new comedian, nobody expects you to be good, but I came in good right away.
So you were just hot from the jump.
I just was, like, comedy was just, this is what I was supposed to be doing.
How does it work when you're starting off as a hot comedian? Is it easier to get the phone calls to get in the lineup? Do people call you more in the beginning?
You get a lot of guest spots. So guest spots is 5 to 7 minutes on the show. Like, come up, man, do the 5 to 7 to open up the show. So it'll be like the host, you do a guest spot, feature, and then a headliner. So I was the nigga that'd be like, oh yeah, that's a young funny nigga, you do 5 on my shit. And then they would take me on the road. Like, comedian Black Coffee was the first one to ever take me on the road because I had about a hot ass 10 to 15. Plus, I had a car, so niggas will use you because they don't want to drive.
What is that you were talking about, the people that took you? What is the name?
Dude named Black Coffee.
Black Coffee.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
he somebody I should know? Is he like
yeah. He one of the OGs around here.
Oh,
He
shit,
just
my
got-
fault.
yeah.
My fault, Coffee.
I mean, nigga, that's the thing about it. Like, niggas watching this don't know me. They know certain niggas. So it's like, you ain't gonna know everybody, but that's my OG. So I wouldn't expect niggas to know him like that. But the people who know. So, like, if you funny, comedians like, all right, yeah, come on the road with me. Just because, like, I'm put some money in your pocket and nigga get you some reps out of town, because a lot of people material, like, nigga, you get less material the further away you get from the crib. Like, some niggas got more time. Some niggas got material that's specific to a zip code.
Damn.
So it's like, imagine if you doing comedy on the east side, nigga, you got 30 minutes because you an east side nigga, and you doing shows in front of east side niggas. Then you go to the west side, now you got 15. Then you get to Lansing, you got 10, nigga. Then you go to Chicago, you got 5 minutes, and you supposed to do 20. So the material got to be broader than just where you from, unless you can find a way to make it relate. Like, you know, you can do that, but you have to be able to do it. You can't be talking about a corner store that niggas don't know about in Chicago because it ain't funny to them.
Right. Like, you're not talking about Greenfield Plaza.
Niggas don't know what that
shit in
is. Like, they
Chicago.
don't know. Certain shit about the culture you can make relevant to everybody, you can explain, but yeah, like I said, when you new, like, nah, it's new comedians that I buy, hey bro, come feature for me. Come get some time, come do a guest spot. Like, if you good new, I'm gonna come, nigga. That's why I tell you, get a dog ass 5 to 10 and I'll put you up. As long as I know you got the time to hold. I know you can do 10. And then, nigga, in reality, don't do no more than 10. But if you feeling it and it's cool, yeah, but that's how I work when you new, bro. You just work out, figure out where your spot's at, and you get off like that.
What was it like going on tour for the first time?
I mean, going out of town, man, like, I was just hella grateful just because I'm like, I can't believe I'm actually getting to, I'm a comedian. Like, nigga, it wasn't like how niggas would just make a song and say they're a rapper. It was like, I'm going to a place and I'm on a flyer and people coming to see me. They're not coming to see me, they coming to see what I do. Like, nigga, I was fucked up behind that. Like, comedy done took me all over the world. I done stayed in some of the best hotels. I done fucked some of the most beautiful women. I am blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can really say that, like, just off this comedy shit. So it's like, I'm just grateful for the whole experience, bro. It was like, nigga, getting to be in a hotel, like, and it probably wasn't the greatest hotels at first, but it was like, nigga, I got a hotel just because I talk a little shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's fire.
Yeah, it was like some dog ass shit, and then to go out and do comedy in front of people, nigga, you in Chicago, you in Indiana, and there's women everywhere. Women love to laugh, and they love a nigga that's funny. So it's like, nigga, that energy just was like, nigga, that shit, I can't really even put it into words, my nigga, I ain't gonna lie to you.
So it's kind of like a mini Hollywood feel. Like, I get the celebrity treatment.
You do.
You know, even though your name was in like on a poster, a Hollywood poster, it's still like you feel that way anyway.
But then when they see you, they like, why ain't you one of these niggas yet? But they don't get that it take time.
Now, when you're going on tour and you're going through these progresses of just building yourself as a comedian and really honing the craft, right? What was some moments, because even I go through it sometimes, where like, did you have blocks? Is there days where it's just like nonstop bullshit where like you can't figure it out?
What you mean?
Like just having bad sets and like trying to figure out like, okay, how do I repair this? And what's the best way to kind of reset everything?
Well, comedy, like I always keep going back to, you always got to stay up on stage. And then
You can't take a break, right?
you can, though. That's the thing about it. Like, you can, because, nigga, you got to live life, because how you going to even have something to talk about if all you doing is comedy? Then that's all you going to ever be able to talk about. Like, you stuck in that mode.
Yeah.
But, Like, man, you just continue to work on your set. That joke, you might need to add something to it. Sometimes it's addition and subtraction. All right, maybe I need to take some of this out because you think this part funny, but in reality, if you just get to the meat of the joke, if you take this whole little part out that you think need to be there, it's like a movie. You ever watch a movie and be like, everything in the movie is important. When they show her drinking from the coffee, it's like, it's not just to be like, oh, she's just doing that. It's like, did a nigga put some poison in that bitch? Or nigga, is this coffee gonna lead to her shitting on herself later? Like, everything is important. Like, it's gotta push the story along. So sometimes you have fluff in jokes that don't need to be there. It's like, yeah, man, because I pulled up in my car, my car a little raggedy. And then I went in. It's like, nigga, your car being raggedy ain't really got nothing to do with it. You just think it's funny because you threw it in there.
Right.
But as far as like the writer's block and shit like that, bro, sometimes you gotta, like I said, you gotta get out, step out, and do some different shit. Hang out in different places, be around different people.
Right, because you're generating your content from your life experiences.
It's your life.
And if you're not experiencing anything new, then you can't really generate new
You
content.
ain't got shit to offer nobody, dog. Like, comedy is comedy is really like, you have to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what works. That's why can't nobody really steal nothing from you. Like, a nigga can say something similar to mine, but nigga, my jokes are my life and my perspective, so you can't really steal that at all.
What was the first breaking points for you as, you're on tour and you're just building your own name and reputation and everything? What was like the first moment where you're like, okay, this is a new big moment for me as far as stand-up is concerned?
When I won the Apollo, when I did BET.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, me and my boy Ron Taylor drove up there, and we both got on. Like, I went up there to do this competition and I won. It was a weird day. Like, we drove up to New York. I did this competition, and it was like a two-day competition, and it was like the winner get $500 or some shit like that. And sat in there and I won that bitch. So I won that, and I ain't know that the $500 wasn't no instantaneous shit. This is something they had to send later. So now I'm up in up in New York, broke than a motherfucker. And then we auditioned first for BET Apollo. And then we both got that, so we was geek. Thinking we gonna get $500, like at least can drive back. Now I got the money for daycare. Nigga, I ain't got the daycare money, or I can't even get back to the crib. So once I got the call back for the Apollo shit, bro, it was like, nigga, I'm finna be on TV. Like, it was the wildest shit. And I remember it came out, and it was like, it's coming on after the BET Awards, and this was like 2014. And niggas was calling me like, hey, bro, you on TV. And they didn't tell us when our episode was on. They taped differently, but they just decided which one was gonna be the first ones, and my episode was the first one. So it came in, the lead in was like the BET Hip Hop Awards. And nigga, I had to wake my girl up. She ain't had cable. We got up, went over her people crib and watched it. And I remember sitting there, and I don't like watching comedy. Me do comedy with niggas or people in general. So niggas sitting there like, they in there smoking and shit like that. And we put it on BET, and niggas like, what the fuck we watching this shit for? These niggas here smoking, they don't give a fuck about nothing. Then they see me pop on the screen, these niggas looked at me, and it just was a weird feeling. I was getting off, but it was just weird to be like, okay, who is this nigga? Why he here? And now this nigga on TV.
Wow.
We supposed to beat this nigga ass. We supposed to lift this nigga up. Like, niggas didn't know what to do. So that was a moment. Then that was like the first time social media kind of blew up, and it was just really Facebook then. Niggas was just shouting me out, and I was like, oh, okay, this what it is, and I think I'm on now.
How much time did you have on Apollo?
Nigga, a minute.
What'd you say? What'd you tell him?
It was just like, I forgot what joke I did, but it was like, it was more about, I was more mad that I didn't get more time, because nigga, I was killing that bitch. So they was like, you just got to stay on stage for a minute and not get booed. And I'm like, nigga, I'm from Detroit. But like I said, I went up there and just did my thing. I was more mad because I was like, if I got this one joke I had off, I felt like, nigga, I was going to blow up off that, but I couldn't get it off because they were just like, once you get past a minute, they like, we are family. They start playing music like a celebration, like you won. But in my head, I'm like, nigga, I'll do this. But that's the way the show was set up. Like, they were just like, nigga, go up. If you can last a minute, you won. I'm like, nigga, give me 10. I want to murk this bitch. I'm on TV. But it was cool, though. It was fun.
That's
it was a great
fire,
experience.
man.
And my daughter got to see me be on TV, so that was an experience for me. Her seeing it was like, oh, that's some hard shit. Like,
What did you see proceed from that? Like, did you gain traction? Where like, did anything change after that?
The money go up incrementally. Like, oh, this nigga, now I got a credit. I really do. I'm on BET and Apollo, and then from there it was just like the money go up. But it's just like, I think a career is just a collection of you just keep doing great shit, and that becomes your career. It's never one moment. It's like you really only need one motherfucker to see you, but you don't realize that every stepping stone is your way closer to meeting that one motherfucker to be like, all right, let's put you on, but you gotta go through. You know what I'm saying? Because from there, I didn't get back on TV. That's 14. Shit, bunch of shit from 14. Like, I ain't get back on TV till I just did HBO. But I had been murking shit for so long now that I was getting opportunities like nigga, I got to host the Fox. Like, and then I got that DL shit blew up. That DL and Mo'Nique shit.
Yeah.
And I was hosting that.
Talk about that, man. Talk about hosting that at the theater because I've been there, man, and it's a beautiful fucking place for
The Fox of Truth.
Yeah.
It's one of them historic venues that, like, if you live in a city, like you live in Detroit, you know that it's a big deal to go see something at the Fox or to go see something here. And then, nigga, that year I had been doing so much. That's crazy. Like, we did something at the music hall. And then from there, next, you know, I think I was at no, that wasn't the Opera House. I did the Opera House this year. But I've been just checking off all the venues. Then they hit me up and was like, hey, man, come host the Fox with DL and Mo'Nique. And I'm like, nigga, bet. Like, nigga, at this point, I'm like, all right, this is real. Like, that was another, like, nigga, chest out. Like, nigga, you can't really tell me nothing because I'm checking off all the boxes at this point. Like, nigga, everything you're supposed to accomplish in a career, I'm getting to.
How do you think they heard about you?
Well, I was doing the show with it was like them big shows take a lot of promoters. So it was an older dude who was used to booking this one guy, and he brought this young comedian in, and young promoter, and the promoter was like, "Hey man, we should fuck with Josh. That's my nigga. He funny as hell." So then the old nigga was like, "I don't know. I want to fuck with who I know." They just be like, and they just like consistency. I know what he gonna do. Da da da. So the young nigga talked him into it, and then my man called me, and we on the phone. He like, "Yeah, my man say you good." I'm like that. I don't be doing too much. And he was like, all right, man, we gonna do it, so how much? And I told him the price, and my man was like, nah, we can't do all that. Then my man was like, I bet I'll give him another half, like, to make it make sense. Because I'm like, nigga, this the Fox. You're not finna pay me nothing crazy. Like, nigga, I know what's going on. And, bro, they booked me. I did the show. And at first, like, nigga, I literally went from doing, like, it was me, Ida Rodriguez, Mo'Nique, and then DL. So I'm literally supposed to do 5 minutes in between everybody. So that's like 15 minutes. And then in reality, nigga, they was like, and 2 of the minutes is you bringing up the next act. So I really only had like 3. Nigga, I go up, bring old girl up, Ida. She was like, not there yet. And then they like, let the DJ play some music till you get out. I'm like, nigga, I'm a comedian. Let me go up. Nigga, fuck it. Yeah. So I run back out because I was already nervous. I don't like being constricted. I like to be able to do my motherfucking thing. So, nigga, I thrive in chaos. So, nigga, it got chaotic at a point. So I was like, nigga, I went up. I probably did another 5 minutes waiting for her to come down. And then I was more comfortable at that point. Brought her up, I might bet I'm good. And nigga, like I say, once all the bickering went down, I ended up doing like 30 to 40 minutes. Wow. Because like, nigga, I'm on stage after Ida come down. I'm like, let me do my 5. I'm gonna bring Mo'Nique up. I'm doing my 5. I'm looking at the dude who's supposed to signal me to come down. He come walking out, and I'm like, I done fucked up. These niggas finna kick me out. Like, I thought I did something wrong. He was like, Mo'Nique ain't here yet. He was from my ear like, keep going and go to intermission. So, nigga, I ended up doing another like 10, 15. Then we come back, come to find out, she wanted to go last. But they had her pick to go first, like before DL. So that was the whole bullshit in the game. So she got there, went up, and went on a rant. And nigga, I go upstairs to my dressing room because I'm like, all right, I done did my job. Before I can even get to my room, nigga, get back to my phone, that bitch going crazy. Everybody texting me like, hey, Mo'Nique she done called Tyler Perry a coon, Oprah a coon. She done called DL a fag. Like, and I'm like, well, let me go down and see if she talking crazy about me because, nigga, like, I'm going to see what's good. But so I go down, watch her. She murdering that bitch. She kind of going on DL and how, you know, he didn't want her to go last and whoop the wham. And nigga, she come down and it's like, all right, now the crowd kind of done turned on this nigga. On DL, like, she done turned the crowd. Like, nigga, she done turned this bitch to the Source Awards. I go up, address the elephant in the room, talk my shit, niggas laughing, and then I kind of bring the crowd back down and be like, yeah, but this ain't what we on. Like, nigga, we finna show this man some love. You know what I'm saying? He got a syndicated radio show here. We ain't on that. And then brought him up. And like, nigga, like, the next day, nigga, everybody was talking about me on the radio. Like, yeah, he say the show, he did his thing. And nigga, I'm talking about TMZ hit me up, Comedy High. All these people hit me up to ask me about what happened. And I don't know what happened between them for real. I just know that it was confusion on who was supposed to headline and who wasn't. And nigga, nobody hit me up to be like, nigga, you did a good job. Let's celebrate you, or let's, nigga, show you some love. It was all that messy shit. And I kind of was like, and most comedians was like, nigga, you stupid. I would have jumped on it. But I'm like, nigga, that ain't your moment. That's a moment. And that shit don't be lasting for real. Like, what, I'm gonna be the nigga who make up some shit about DL and Mo'Nique? Nigga, that ain't nothing you can really build a career off of. And but from there, nigga, my shit went up, and then I got to do the HBO shit with the Lions. And then that was just another level to be on HBO.
And so after that happens with the Mo'Nique and DL Hughly situation, Lions and more probably corporate places and people at the high level are reaching out to you.
Yeah.
Because you proved yourself, right? Like this guy can fucking do the job.
Yeah.
And the event became more magnified because of what happened.
Yeah.
So your name becomes more magnified as like you can handle that.
Yeah.
So how did what happened with the Lions? When did they hit you up?
The Lions hit me up. Probably like that shit was in April, so I did my birthday weekend shit, and then from there, I'm doing my podcast, and my homeboy called me rapper Train. Shout out to my nigga Train. He a fat nigga with no neck. Went to Southfield.
Shout out.
You know what I'm saying? Train to Freedom. He hit me up and was like, "Hey, one of my students was at the Aretha, because I opened up at the Aretha on one of the Wednesdays. They was doing the big R&B shows, and he was like, the Lions want a comedian to perform for the team meeting to give him a break." And I'm like, all right. So it was like, this a Wednesday night to do my podcast. So I'm sitting there, and I'm with my nigga Kid Clever, and I'm with my boy Kari over there. Detroit is Different, the studio I do the podcast at. And we talking shit. And I'm like, what should I charge these niggas? And I'm like, I don't really want to do this. Training camp is weird. Niggas is on steroids. Niggas might get cut. I don't know what this environment I'm walking into. Dog hit me, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. The money. And I'm mad because the amount of money I asked for, nigga, they gave it up too quick. Where I was like, I could have got a little signing bonus fucking with them. Because, nigga, the money I asked for wasn't shit to them, and then they sent it through Cash App. I didn't even know you could send that amount of money on Cash App. I was like, I should hit these niggas over the head.
Damn.
I was mad, but it was all good because, like, from what I got from it, it was just even more than I could have imagined. But, bro, they literally was like, Wednesday, I was like, all right, let me call you back. Thursday, we figured out I was going to do it in the price, sent them the invoice. And then I'm not a Lions fan per se. I am not. I'm attached to these niggas now, so I really fuck with them. I'm really a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but they ain't got shit to do with nothing.
Right.
But I didn't know what was going on with the team. I didn't know who was on there. They had to send me the first 2 episodes and was like, all right, watch these, and you can't say this, that, and the third. And it just made me feel weird because it's like, man, I don't even feel like having no restrictions. Nigga, I wasn't even finna say all the shit y'all tripping on.
Right.
But I'm like, I just don't like, they try to just make shit too boxed in. But, nigga, I went, watched the 2 episodes, went down there, man, 30 minutes. I literally got in the car Thursday night, drove down there because I had to do it at 4 o'clock. The performance was at 4 during a team meeting. Performed, did my 30. They cashed at me that little money that I thought was a big amount of money. And then nigga drove home and performed at a show that night back at the crib. And nigga, nobody really knew I did it, but my girl. And then next you know, that was that Friday, Saturday. The turnaround was Friday, Saturday. They had the episode ready Tuesday. I'm doing my laundry. Next thing I know, my Instagram started going crazy because they posted it like I was the promo for the episode that I was doing, the 3rd episode. So nigga, the episode going on, and nigga, I'm doing laundry, and then my man called me like, hey, ESPN finna call you, the dude who plugged me to the shit. I'm like, ESPN? So then a nigga from ESPN called me, interviewed me, he was like, bro, yeah. I was like, did I do good? He's like, nigga, you killed. I did 30 minutes. He's like, yeah, you on there about 3-4 minutes, but nigga, you murdered. So he interviewed me. The next thing I know, the episode was literally finna come on, like the turnaround was that fast. And nigga, from there, like, nigga, my phone was going off so much, nigga, even on the charger, that bitch was dying. Cause it was like, nigga, it's HBO, it's the NFL. It was like, and I played football, so it was crazy that in my head, I was like, nigga, one day I'm gonna be on ESPN and I'm gonna be on NFL Films, and nigga, it came from me doing comedy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that shit went crazy at that point, L. Like,
That's
yeah.
nuts, man.
Money went up then, too, so niggas can't really call me for nothing. Not the other shit, like that $50, $75 shit, I can't.
$75?
Yeah, niggas be doing, like, I mean, when you new, bro, that's what you gonna get. Cause
Right.
that's what it is. But it's so funny that a nigga called me, man, and was like, hey, man, you did my dad's birthday party. He was 60 years old. He's 70 now. I was like, that's what's up, nigga. He still alive? Yeah. He was like, that's what's up. He's like, man, I want to book you for this. Da-da-da-da. I was like, all right, bet. He's like, how much? And I told the nigga the price. And he was like, damn, yeah, man, you did it for like $100 last time. I was like, nigga, that was 10 years ago. Like, nigga, what you think? Do you still get the same amount of money you got 10 years ago?
To this day, it's like that. To this day. People can see like how much growth you've had and still expect you to be like the same price or whatever the hell the transaction is from 10 years ago. That's ridiculous.
Like I had to like, and I don't be want to pop my shit, but it be like, nigga, I won BET Apollo. Nigga, I've been all over the country, nigga, the Fox. I've done HBO at this point. Like, nigga, I've been on Centric. It's like you can't really talk to me like.
Well, you know what I think people look at nowadays is, well, if it's an event, right? Let's say it's a birthday party or whatever, blah blah blah. They look at overhead, like how much is it actually going to cost Josh to do this for us, and then they look at it's a single person that just needs a microphone, right? That's what that happens in their head. So for a local event, people are going to like do the least amount of money as possible. But when it comes to stadiums or when it comes to shows, it's like how much tickets can you sell?
Well,
How many
that's
tickets can you
different.
sell, or like how much time can you fill? Like,
But even a birthday party, like I get that you're not selling tickets,
right?
but nigga, you spent $300 on this cake.
Yeah.
You're not gonna remember this cake. You gonna eat that bitch. You gonna remember my set.
DJs are like that too. I remember 2 different times my friends had asked me to hire a DJ for like a little event they had. The first time I hired a DJ, I was the one paying for it. So I was like, let me get this guy for $100 real quick, man. My dog got him. It literally the whole party was garbage.
You
garbage.
get what you pay for with $100
Exactly.
nigga.
And then the next time I had the obligation to do it again, I was like, let me pay this guy $500.
So wait a minute, you paid the same guy?
No, different guy.
Oh, but that's the thing about it. The $100 nigga can one day become a $500, $600, $700 nigga.
No, but that's true. But I'm saying value, right? Like the experience that you bring is worth the money. That's the whole point. Like,
I've done that. I've cut so many promoters off because they'd be like, well, all I got is this. Where it's like, well, I can send you a nigga that can come for that. Like, don't call me and act like I'm breaking your pockets. Like the money I'm asking for, like, man, we ain't got that. Well, nigga, I ain't asked to be booked in a long time, bro. Like, I'm good out here. My calendar's straight. Niggas calling me. I'm getting deposits all the time. God is good. So it ain't like niggas come at you like you like, hey man, put me on your show. Well, all right, that's all we got for you. Like, no, you call me. So if you want that $300, $200 nigga, I can give you him.
Yeah.
But if you want to use me, bro, this is my price. And I respect it if you don't think I'm worth that. But just respect what I'm on. And next time we talk, the conversation will be different.
yeah, like that. Any type of entertainment that you bring to your event, the whole thing can change depending on the quality of person or production that's being brought, right? Whether it's a fire-ass DJ, a fire-ass comedian, a fire-ass band.
Sound,
whatever
for movies, for podcasts, for videographers. Like I've learned, bro, I don't do shit. Don't do nothing for me for the love. So many people now, hey bro, I do this for the love. No, I want to pay you because I want to demand, and not in a way that's demeaning to you, but no, I want quality. Hey bro, I don't like that. Can you do that again? I don't want to call you because it's for the love. Oh man, I ain't got to it, but well, nigga, that ain't the game we on now. I'm paying you, so I need what I want from you. Like I'm like that now, like bro, like I don't want nothing for the love. I don't want to do nothing for nobody for free. I don't want nobody doing nothing for me for free. Nigga, let's exchange money. That's how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, because you get shit done. That's at the end of the day, you get shit done. I used to go do people's podcasts. I'm telling you, I would do a podcast. I had a goatee at one point. And then by the time the guy had released the podcast, I had a full beard.
That's hilarious.
So I'm sitting there going like, man, like we're trying to get this shit done. We're trying to get shit moving here, and you're slowing down the process. I'd rather pay you and get it done earlier than, wait, and like times have changed and I don't even want to release that thing anymore. Like we're all about content delivery, right? Like if you're a comedian, if you're on stage, you're about content delivery. You're delivering ideas and concepts to people and the audience.
And some shit ain't evergreen. Some shit ain't timeless. Some shit is like, nigga, this got to drop right now.
Yeah.
Because Keke Palmer might not be the shit in about 3 weeks. Like, they move on and the news cycle done changed. So shit needs to come out rapidly. So I used to be like, oh, my man gonna do it for the love. He gonna make the flyer for the love. Nah, nigga, my head cut off. I look weird, nigga. Yeah. I want you to redo that. So I'm gonna pay you. So that's where I'm at with it, bro.
So was there a point where you felt like you could live just off comedy, or was there ever a point where it's like, okay, I feel successful as a comedian?
I'm there now. Like, I remember when I started getting unemployment and I was doing comedy, and nigga, I just was like, bet, bitch. They done fucked up. I was making a little money doing comedy. At the time, I had my oldest daughter, and I was getting unemployment. The most unemployment could give you a week. So I'm living. Like, nigga, I'm cool. Had a little crib. My man owned it. So I was like, nigga, I ain't really have to give him nothing all the time. I ain't had to give him everything he needed right away. So, nigga, I'm living the life of a motherfucking... Nigga, I was living like that in my head. But I realized that I was bullshitting because, nigga, I didn't maximize the time I had. Like, I could have really went hard at comedy, but instead, nigga, doing shows, staying out late, eating bullshit, getting up, waking up at noon, jacking off 4 times, going back to sleep, going to do a show, fuck some weirdo shit. And it was like, that whole time, nigga, I could have just been, if I wasn't gonna go hard at comedy, I could have at least worked a job. Like, nah, nigga, I work a job. Cause nigga, it's like, the money is good with comedy. Can I do it? But I want to get to the point where my calendar is like, nigga, 2 years out, nigga, I got deposits already for everything. That's when it makes sense.
And so you didn't get to that point yet where you can just quit everything and just...
I could quit now, but I just get that, nigga, you can fuck around and have a slow September. And when you got kids, you got to be realistic.
Yeah, you
like
got
nigga,
kids,
even if
man.
you in LA, even if you in New York, nigga, you don't have to struggle to get on. Like that's my thing that niggas think like, oh, I got to do this struggle shit. It's like nigga, you ain't got to do that. Like nigga, you ain't got to be looking stupid out here, nigga. Work a job, like nigga, it's a labor of love. You just gonna be tired, like nigga, every day. Like nigga, I go to work, I get up, I do a show, nigga, and nigga, I might not get paid at 2 in the morning, nigga, and then I gotta get up at 6 and do it all and go to work.
It just, yeah, because, I mean, it works in a kind of a few different ways, because if you are a starving comedian, it forces you to, like, always be on stage and, like, you know you have to kill in order to keep getting booked or to keep doing shows. But then there's also, which is interesting to bring up to you, is the guys who have a little bit of safety, either if they have a job where they have a bunch of money saved up, where they can do comedy and be relaxed about it. Like, this isn't just for the check. Like, I get to do this without worrying if I'm gonna get paid or not. Or
it just gotta make sense. It ain't even it's not even no comfort shit. It's just shit you gotta do as a man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't feel comfortable at all, even with a job. Like nigga, like, cause I got kids, anything can happen. I gotta provide for them. So it ain't even no safety. It's like nigga, as a man, this is what I gotta do. Now when comedy come to the point where, nigga, I'm getting money to the point where it's dumb as hell and nigga it's coming in like that. Nigga, I'm gonna work that like a job. My dad was a working man. So comedy is gonna be worked like a job. So it's like when it gets to the point where the output is like that, where it's like, nigga, I'm booked all over, nigga, Thursday through Sunday, nigga, 52 days out the week, nigga, I'm somewhere, then that's when I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting there now. Like I was telling niggas, like I'm getting off this. Like nigga, I got 1 foot on the truck, 1 foot off. Like I'm literally there where I can be like, nigga, I can call in and not go to my job. But it's like, no, nigga, I gotta produce more and more and more. Cause nigga, like put it like this. When it comes to comedy, it ain't too many niggas making more than me that's doing comedy. Even a nigga that's probably nigga that can say they doing it just strictly that. Just off comedy alone, I'm making good money.
Yeah.
To where nigga, I don't have to really work this job. It's like that. But I wanna look up, nigga, and this is like, nigga, this what it's finna be.
Right. If you didn't have kids, you would leave your job though. That's what I'm assuming.
But you don't have to.
But
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying as far as you're concerned, because it sounds like part of it is that you want security for your
But
children.
just the thing about it, even if I ain't had kids, I'm still a man. Like, you ain't got to walk around here looking fucked up and being hungry and, nigga, doing a show for $25 because you got to have it. Like, nigga, a lot of these shows, niggas take advantage of you because it's almost like prostitution. All right, I'm going to get this nigga $25 because he need it. You don't have to do that. If you work your job and, nigga, leave your job and run to that show, that's the same amount of hustle that a nigga doing who just sitting around. Because, nigga, you can't do nothing other than that.
Yeah, but the only counter argument to that is you would have more time working on stand-up if you weren't working the job.
What you working on stand-up during the day doing?
Like being at places that you normally wouldn't be able to be at. Like you could be like, okay, I'm going to fly here. I'm going to fly to LA and I'm going to do a rotation of all the
How
funny...
you flying around? You ain't got no money.
Well, what I'm saying is if you're making enough money as a stand-up is what I'm saying. Or if you're making just enough to get by. Where like you can constantly be in some type of circuit that you can build by making relationships with all these comedy clubs and constantly going from comedy club to comedy club and just building a reputation. You don't have time to do that or build the craft or hone the craft as much because you're working a job is what I'm saying.
Nah, that ain't true. Like, it may seem that way, but that's not true at all. Like, you can definitely do all the same shit you saying and work a job and not be fucked up and have more money to do it.
Okay.
Like, cause niggas don't understand, like, all that Greyhound and jumping all that shit, you don't have to live like that. Like now that I've did all that and moved to New York and tried it that way and came home and moved to LA and then COVID happened and I came back home, it was like, nigga, I got more coming home doing it here, not realizing, nigga, like, you don't have to go to LA to blow up. You don't have to go to New York to blow up, especially when COVID happened. It was like, nigga, the internet right here, you can be everywhere at the same time.
I agree with that, but I also do see the different factor of, like, when you go to LA, there's a bunch of comedy clubs you can go to. And
not a lot of stage time in LA.
Yeah, that's true. Not a lot
It's
of
clubs out there, put it like this, it's clubs out there, but it's so many motherfuckers out there that you literally don't get up. You don't, like, nigga, I know niggas that's out there right now, nigga, they may get up 3 times a week. Nigga, I get up, nigga, with a job, nigga, I get up 4 or 5 times a week, 6 times a week.
Right.
And nigga, like, and that's just on some grabbing the mic to get ready, open mic type shit, like, nigga, and you're not getting paid to do stand up out there.
Yeah, well, you know, if you do it the right way, I can see it too. Like, I think there was a comedy club that had the Laugh Factory. The Laugh Factory has like in-house recording and all that shit.
Yeah.
And it's like a prominent place to do comedy.
Okay.
So if you get filmed there, it can be a big deal if that shit gets posted. That shit can change your fucking career, basically.
But you got to get on that show. The prominent show is Chocolate Sundays. And Chocolate Sundays gives niggas an audition date. Like, if you was to do it right now, 2023, they'd give you an audition date for 2027.
Wow.
Like I know a nigga who got one back in the day. Let's say he got it in 2016. He just auditioned this year. COVID happened. So like you think you going out to LA and you finna walk in here and get in the Laugh Factory, the Comedy Store. Niggas politics to all that. And it's every nigga from all over the world going to that same place. So you dealing with niggas like, don't let you be funny. That's even worse. If it's a nigga that's been out there 10 years trying to get on, nigga, I'm gonna do everything to keep you from where you going. But like I said, what's for you is for you and you can make it happen. But in reality, I learned that nigga, you can become that nigga at the crib. Like it's niggas in LA talking about me now. Like when I go out to LA, it's niggas already know me that I didn't even know fucked with me. But it's their job to know who the next niggas is and everywhere else. So when you get out there, they more kings of building relationships and networking.
Right.
So what you saying, I want you to understand that.
Can you pull that microphone to you?
I want you to understand as like the whole thing of if you just sacrifice and like nigga, I don't have no plan B for real. Like nigga, it's comedy. Like nigga, I'm gonna work and I'm gonna do comedy until the shit pop to the point where it's like nigga, I'm off the truck.
Right. No, so what you're saying is it's everything goes toward comedy at the end of the day.
Like I
Making
work
sure your
harder than
family-
some niggas that don't do shit. That's what I'm telling you. Like it's about the nigga or the person. It ain't got nothing to do about the journey. Like I said, I was somebody who had it set up to do all the work and I didn't. And then now I'm like, oh, okay, now I realize I could have been working and still doing the same amount of work. I'm just gonna be a tired motherfucker because if you gonna get it, you constantly going. You're not stopping.
So with you've done the you did you say earlier, because I felt like you were saying that you kind of did the starving artist thing for a while.
I moved to New York. Like they gave me that whole, man, you young and you funny, bro. You need to get out there before you 30. Because I guess in LA and New York, when you 30, you 90. Wow. So and it was like, you young, you funny, get out there now. Like in they head, because they like you young. That's the thing. Because nigga they feast on young, starving, innocent motherfuckers. Like you gonna go out there and you gonna do whatever they ask you to do. You gonna run here. You gonna do this. You gonna yell. You know, hey, stand out of the comedy club and yell and try to get people to come to this show for some stage time. Like all that shit is cool. You can say it build character, but it's a lot of ways to build character. And like I said, I went out to New York. I took my girl with me at the time. My oldest daughter's mom. We was together. And she was like, come on, let's come. And she came out there with me. And nigga, it was like, nigga, I had to get a job out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that money wasn't coming in like that. It didn't make no sense as far as like in the little space that we was living in. Nigga was smaller than the studio we in, nigga.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
So I came back home.
You know, it's crazy to hear you talk about this stuff because when I'm listening to comedians that are established in LA, they do make it seem so easy. Like, I'm going to go to the Funny Bone, and then I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go there. But you're saying the reality of it is it's hard to even get on those fucking stages
But
in
are
the
they
first place.
on? Like when you say they own, they
No, I'm talking about the big dogs, like, you know, the Tom Segura's, the Bret
Oh,
Kreischers,
yeah.
like the guys who are established to the point where like they make it sound so easy to go inside the Comedy Store, but it's because they already have success.
Oh yeah, like now.
Or the
like,
relationship
yeah.
that they built already throughout the time.
Yeah, like now, yeah, like Bert Kreischer and them niggas, them guys. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a comedy club in the world that can't walk in and just do.
But they were
weird,
going in there while it was building up too, so it was helping. Like Pauly Shore's mom, obviously, was running the Comedy
Yeah,
Store.
Mitzi Shore.
Mitzi, right? So she's running and she's building a relationship, and it probably took longer than it seems for them to actually get stage time. Like you're saying, you're not just gonna go there and just be in the network like right away. It doesn't just how does one break into, let's say, a Comedy Store? How does one? I mean, rest in
Well,
peace
no,
to
my
Mitzi.
homeboys done got in there. Like my nigga Ron Taylor, he just got his name on the wall. Well, he got his name on the wall, which that's like a big deal. And my dog Darius Bennett, who out there, he got his name on the wall. Like a lot of times you go out there and you work as a door person. Like if you work at the store, they give you more time. But in reality, they turned it into the funniest people work at the store. So it's like if you funny, just get a job here and that's gonna get you time.
Right.
And they did the door for however long. It might have took them 3, 4, 5, 6 years to break through and get on the wall. But this the funny thing about it, and get in the club, and now you pass at the club. That means you can get it. Like they're gonna put you in. Like, all right, you got a set on. They give you a set during the week. Only pay $25 for the set. But with all that comes, you say you was at the Comedy Store, and then I guess you get an agent from that, and then they start booking you. Yeah. So that's the play. So it's almost like, all right, get in at the Comedy Store. I did this work, and now I'm a Comedy Store comedian, or I'm a Laugh Factory comedian, or I got passed at the Cellar in New York. So now these legendary clubs, now that stamps me at all these other clubs, then I can work.
Yeah.
That's the move.
Yeah.
If that's what you're saying. But it's like, you can do that and still do what you got to do to live and survive and have a decent quality of life.
You know, I was watching like Hirio Dreams of Sushi. Anyways, it's
What
like,
is that?
It's a
Anime or
documentary
something?
about a Japanese-owned sushi. It was like the #1 sushi place in Japan or some
Okay.
shit. But anyways, it was so funny because the guys who create sushi, like the sushi chef, it takes like 10 years to even learn how to make the rice properly before they let you touch, like actually make the roll for the customer.
Damn.
So it sounds like that with comedy, like even being a door person, it's like you have to chill at the door and do like little mini sets in between security and stuff like that. And it takes years before you even get like a real chance.
That's why people like, that's why nigga, I don't really fuck with a lot of niggas who come in it, cause it's like, nigga, I sacrificed a lot for this, nigga. Like, so it'd be like, when motherfuckers come here playing, like, if this what you want to do, anything I can help you with, I'ma try. But then once I see you not really serious, I don't really fuck with you like that, cause nigga, I really do this, like,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you just, even what you said about the sushi chef shit, it's like, yeah, like, nigga, you gotta think how serious these sushi making niggas is to be like, my nigga, fuck is you doing making a California roll, nigga? You just start because you saw an Instagram video, bitch?
Yeah.
Like, nigga, this what I do, nigga. Like, I'm out here kicking my shins up against hardwood, and it's a nigga with a long mustache stroking this shit, and he won't let me touch nothing but the rice. Like, nigga, it's a sacrifice, it's a grind, and it's a fraternity. So that's why when you in, it's like, it's a different kind of respect to it.
Yeah.
When I look at it. So that's why I said when you said you do it, I might try it. Because, nigga, it might be what you supposed to be doing.
No, I appreciate that. You're not the first person to tell me that was Mike Stanley. Mike Stanley had a comedy club over here called Detroit Comedy Underground a long time. Like 2011, I was there filming their sets. Like I was just filming sets.
It used to be above Bucharest over there downtown.
Yeah, exactly.
My
Yeah.
nigga Mike Stanley. Shout out. He in Denver now.
Yep, he's in Denver. That's right. He moved out with his girlfriend or his fiance now. And like, he was the first person. He's like, do it. And then I didn't listen to him. I was like, nah. Because I knew, like, in my mind, I'm like, it's a real thing. Like, it's a real thing, man. It's a committed, like, you have to take it seriously. It takes the time. And I feel like if I was supposed to do it, I would have done it already. I feel like that's how it is.
I don't know, man. Maybe one day you would try it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm all for everybody trying something. Like, nigga, if you want to follow your dreams, I'm all for it because I'm living man. So I'm always like, nigga, women I deal with, nigga, if you want to do hair, bitch, I'm going to plug you in because if this is what you want to do. Like, so I'm just, nigga, if this is something you want to do, try it. Like, nigga, if I got a show, come do 5 minutes.
Yeah, it might
Come
be.
do 3 minutes.
I fear the fucked up part about a bombing. I got to get over that.
This what you should do, bro. It's an open mic, New Way. This the one. Oh, you know about New Way?
New Way Bar and over here.
Open mic is great.
Yeah, every Monday, like it's a shitty open mic where it's loud as fuck. But if you funny, they listen, and there's a lot of comedians in there. It's mostly comedians. Like, bro, they didn't put up 90 comedians a night.
Yeah.
Shout out to Paul Peppertone, he hosted. We should do that, bro. You should take time whenever you got the time.
Yeah.
Work on a 3 to 5 minute set, and then we go in there and watch you do it. And we take you.
I'm there. That's 1,000% chance. Yeah, for sure. I used to perform at New Way, but we were performing music because they used to do open mics and they used to be music instead.
New Way is a hub, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I was going near to do open mics. Like, nigga, I would go to Baker's. Like, I would grab like 3 mics on a Monday, bro.
Do you know that dude from next Friday? My fucking fault.
Mike Epps.
Mike Epps is opening up. He opened up a comedy store in
This nigga
Detroit.
tired. You ain't got no caffeine? What you
No, I had coffee a minute ago. Yeah, Mike Epps. I went to it. I
You know
got
that dude from Friday?
They gave me I fucked up. I'm sorry,
It's
Mike
all
Epps.
good.
He's never gonna see this, but listen, his VIP gave me VIP passes to be a part of him hosting like the opening of it. It was insane.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm standing and I'm watching. And I'm like, oh my god! Like if I was gonna start, this would be the place because they're just starting it. You get to build a relationship with everybody and like really build here and stuff like that. But I don't know if anything ever happened with it, man. Like I don't know.
It's coming. They just did. They opened up the bar and everything, and I think the club opened up officially in September.
Really?
Yeah, so it's coming.
Where's that at?
Mike Epps, one mic Detroit.
Yeah.
It used to be Punch Bowl Social.
Oh, shit.
So it's a comedy club. It's like, it's so big in there. I've never been in there, but it's so big in there. They're gonna have a space to do comedy that can seat 300. And then they got like a jazz club or just a club in there. So it's a mad shit going on in there.
I remember I called the Comedy Castle one time. And this is how stupid I was when I was trying to break into comedy. I was so fucking stupid. I called them the day they were doing like open mics.
Yeah.
I called them like, yo, I'm trying to pop up. It was Kid L. And then the lady on the phone's like, who?
Nigga, what?
And then she's like, okay. She's like, well, we'll call you in like 4 weeks if we find a spot. And I was like, oh, shit. And then I was like, oh, it doesn't work like that. I don't know.
She's
You
like, some guy named Kittle called?
yeah, literally. And then I called Trixie's, and Trixie's was like almost the same thing. They're like, we don't do that. Like, you got to
What Trixie's ain't like, bro, open mics work like this. You just go up there. Like, not Mark Ridley's. Mark Ridley's, you got to get on the list. House of Comedy, you got to get on the list. But like Trixie's, you go up there, sign the list, and then like a rap open mic, like, all right, give it up. All right, Kid L's next.
Yeah.
And then that's how it worked. But I thought you was finna do the shit where you pretended like you was your own manager or some
Oh
shit
my
like that.
God, people do that?
Nigga, that shit worked in the 80s when Eddie Murphy and them did it. Like, nigga, ain't nobody manager calling, putting nobody on an open mic.
Who do you think the greatest comedian of all time was? Stand up
Was or is?
is.
It's probably Chappelle right now.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna hold you up. Like Eddie up there, everybody got their personal favorites, but man, Chappelle done did so much. Like I watched Chappelle go from black people not fucking with him to being mainly a mainstream comedian to that show popping off and to him becoming like the biggest lightning rod for anything. Like he transcended comedy at this point. I don't know if Eddie Murphy ever transcended comedy. He was as big as comedy got, where it was like this motherfucker everything. Dave Chappelle kind of transcended it all.
Well,
in my head,
Eddie had Raw, right?
Raw and Delirious.
And both of those I think were actually premiered at a movie theater.
Yeah.
And that was like I think one of the first times I had it. I don't know if Red Fox had done it first actually, but anyway, that was crazy. That concept that people went to the theater to watch a comedian perform.
Like I'm mad I didn't get to see Kings of Comedy in theater. That's how good Kings of Comedy was. Like I can imagine just sitting in that bed. Honestly, I want to rent a theater just to do it now, cause like seeing that for the first time in a theater, bro, you'll probably be on your bro.
Dude, you know who does that is the Novi. There's an Imagine Theater. Like once a month they'll play a classic film, like they play Scarface and shit.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I want to go fucking do that and just to see what it was like to go back 30 years ago, 40
To
years
watch
ago.
that movie.
Just to feel like what the fuck was it like to watch Goodfellas in a theater?
Cause you know what it is at the crib on your TV, but like I always thought that about Kings of Comedy. Like I know motherfuckers was falling out. Like it was just straight jokes. Bam, bam, bam. Motherfuckers hitting you in your head. Like I'm mad I missed that.
I seen the Kings of Comedy live when it was Cedric the Entertainer.
Nigga, how old are you? How did you see it live? I didn't. You seen it live?
I'm talking about the Kings of Comedy that are still alive today, like DL Hughly, Eddie Griffin.
You seen the tour?
They were
you
here.
seen the Brown Get Down. It's called something else.
But it was the Kings of Comedy though.
Oh, they are the Kings, but I thought it was called something else. It was called like the Comedy Rundown. Because it was
when I went to it, it was called the Kings. They
called it the Kings of
Yeah,
Comedy?
even Eddie Murphy's brother Charlie Murphy was there.
Charlie Murphy was on there. I thought it was called something else. I didn't know they called it the Kings of Comedy.
They might have promoted it like that, but it might have been
Because
named
they
something.
are at the time they are the Kings at that point in time.
Yeah, it was like Eddie, DL Hughly.
Yeah.
It was George Lopez and
Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy was fucking. It was pretty good until they tried to charge $100 to take pictures of them afterwards. I was kind of, I didn't know that was gonna happen. I was
Man,
like,
that's a new hustle, man. Chris Brown charged $1,000 to let a bitch jump on his back. So it's like they gonna get money any kind of way they can.
yeah, George, you doing George? I used to watch you on Nickelodeon. How you gonna get to take $100 from me, man?
He ain't making that Nickelodeon money no more. You want $100 for that flip?
Yeah. I was also gonna bring up how your list, right? So yours is classical, like you have, but you also have a guy who transcended into the modern, right? So continue from that though. You got Dave,
As
right?
far as like the best.
Your favorite, your top all time.
Oh, well, we'll put it like this. Mine gonna be a little different. Chappelle is up there. Tommy Davidson. Like I said, that was the first person I ever seen. He's still a beast to this day. Chappelle, Tommy Davidson, Bill Burr up there now.
Whew.
Bill Burr a monster. This ain't even really no order. These just motherfuckers I like.
Yeah.
Chappelle, Tommy Davidson, Bill Burr, Kool-Aid. Rest in peace to Kool-Aid. He basically the king of comedy in Detroit. So Kool-Aid on there for sure. And then if I had to put one more person on there, Conan O'Brien. And he not even a stand-up. He just like, I used to want to be the first black host of like the Tonight Show. Like I used to love watching him do monologues. But like Conan O'Brien is like one of the funniest motherfuckers in the world to me. So that's not a stand-up list. That's just like my comedy icon type shit. Oh, I fucked up. If I had to go straight stand-up, I kind of had to take
Conan
out. Patrice O'Neal. That's my nigga. Like his comedy special, Elephant in the Room, I watch that every 2 weeks. It's just that funny.
Yeah.
So I can't not have him on there.
Yeah.
Like I damn near, you know what? I'll do this.
Take time out.
No, I take time. I'll take Dave Chappelle off and put Patrice on there.
What?
So yeah, Patrice, Conan, Tommy Davidson, Kool-Aid, and I can't remember the fifth one. But yeah, I take Dave out. Patrice an animal. Patrice like that.
Wow.
Patrice was like that.
You had Bill Burr.
And Bill Burr.
Right.
That's my five.
Solid for sure. That's fucking.
None of these niggas know that to watch your podcast.
Bill
Who
Burr.
I'm talking about.
Oh, they don't know who Bill Burr is?
They don't know who none of these niggas is.
Yeah, Bill Burr is a cutter. So live, I think the person who cut me up the most was Katt Williams. He destroyed me. I couldn't even breathe. I was sitting next to my girlfriend and he was doing this joke where he was like humping a chair. I was slapping my knee so hard that the vibration of my knee hit her knee, and she looked at me like she wanted to kill me for like.
That's funny.
I didn't give a fuck. I've never ran out of breath laughing.
Katt Williams, when he was when Katt Williams was the biggest comedian in the world,
Yeah.
I don't think nobody's ever been funnier than him.
Yeah.
Like how when Lil Wayne was the best rapper, nobody ever rapped that good. When Katt Williams, I think it started from Pimpin', whatever it was. When Katt Williams was on fire, nobody been that funny.
Oh my God. No, you're absolutely right.
Nobody been that funny.
I'm not just trying to say it, but I literally have seen almost damn near all the fucking legends that are still making comedy to this day. And he destroyed me. Like I seen Chappelle live. He did good, but he didn't.
He never
kill
fucked
me.
it up like Katt
He
did.
didn't kill me like that. I've seen so many fucking comedians.
And then Katt'll get political, but he still be just funny as
fuck.
shit.
Yeah.
And like I said, I used to always tell people like, Kev is Kev and he cool, he's super successful. Like we ain't never seen no mogul shit like this when it comes to comedy. But as funny goes, Katt Williams, bro, when he was on fire, in my opinion, and I'm a snob when it comes to comedy, he ain't still in my top, but it's just that's built off of just longevity. He's still my guy, he up there. But they're my top. But when he was at his funniest, I don't think nobody was ever that funny.
Yeah. He just cut right fucking through,
Nobody was
bro.
that funny.
I saw Kevin Hart live too. I've seen it 3 times and it was good. Everybody did good, man. I've seen Chris Tucker live. That wasn't funny, but it was still legendary just to see Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker was like this version. He was like that version. When he did what he did, that was like a version of an Instagram comedian. Like he blew up on Def Jam with like 10 minutes, that 10-minute set, and then after that they just was booking him at clubs all over, and he only had that 10-minute set, and then
The only joke he told that was funny in 2 hours was like how his grandpa had told him that he's like, what do you wish you could do, like if you could go back to your wedding day? And he's like talking about how he could just rewind the motherfucking tape to before he even got into the altar, some shit like that. And I was like, damn, man, I just paid $300 to hear that joke, man. That was the only that pissed me off. But the guy in movies is fucking phenomenal. Like
he true.
If Rush Hour 5, 6, 7, 8, I'm watching every single fucking one. If a new Friday happens, I'm watching it for Chris Tucker if he fucking comes back. But the stand-up, I was like, damn, this is crazy that I just spent this much money.
Yeah, everybody got their own thing, though. And once you get away from stand-up, you kind of lose the magic.
You know, that's what, even when we talk about somebody like Katt Williams, right? After the incident where whatever happened at that school had happened, that's when, like, you notice something shifted in him. Like, his material and his content, but he was still funny as fuck. Right, and Chris Tucker was the same thing. Like once he dropped out of like doing any films that went against his like religious beliefs or anything like that.
Yeah, he got into a whole nother bag.
Yeah, so it kind of changes like your content and the way that you're delivering shit.
And then people grow too. Like you got to give people room to be like, nigga, he not 20-year-old Chris Tucker no more. Nigga, he 40. Yeah. So it's like he ain't gonna be talking about the same shit. And that's the thing about comedy. You evolve and you grow and your perspective change. You can still be funny, but you're just not gonna be talking about the same things that you was talking about before. You got kids now, you got married, you got divorced. You grow. Like I remember growing up, Martin Lawrence was my favorite comedian, and Chris Rock was terrible to me. But that's because Chris Rock was talking about, you know, Martin was only talking about fucking and bitches and all that and this, that, and the third. And then next thing you know, it was like Chris Rock got funnier to me, and then Martin wasn't as funny because it was like you ain't really talking about shit.
Martin Lawrence was just a straight up killer, right? He comes on stage, cut.
Fucking, blah, blah, blah.
You don't have time to breathe. With Chris Rock, it was like enlightening thoughts. Like I said, that blend of like comedy mixed with real life, mixed with like political views and all that shit, marital relationship views. And you just agree with Chris Rock. I think that's why a lot of people love him, because the shit he talks about, you're like, that makes fucking sense.
Yeah, his perspective on shit was like, oh, I've never heard it from this look, from this vantage point. So when you see him kicking, it was like, the older I got, I was like, oh, I get what he's saying. I'm an adult now. I'm growing up. So
do you think like deep down when he got slapped by Will Smith, do you think deep down he was like, bag time? Like, I'm rich. Like, did you think like this is gonna make me so much material? He came out with what after that, Tambourine, or no?
Tambourine's before that.
Yeah, he came out with the newest stand up after the.
I forgot the one it was called, but I didn't watch it. Like the funny thing about it, it was
fucking good.
It was good, but it was like people was like they didn't act like they didn't like it, but it was like the people who came to see it that didn't like it, you only hear about the slap.
Yeah,
it had that slap never happened, and we was just wanting to see the stand up. Everybody that's fans of his would have been like, oh, this is funny, we love it, but I don't know what he thought. I think at the time he was really taking back. I don't think he knew what to do. Like he was like, this motherfucker really slapped me. Like nobody knew what was going on. I thought the shit was, my man thought it was fake. I'm like, what the fuck going on?
Yeah.
And I really think he didn't know what to do. And then he took whatever time he had to figure out what was going on. And then it was like, and then he was like, I ain't gonna talk about it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna figure it out. And then he figured out how to put it on stage. But
Yeah.
that shit was wild, nigga. Like comedy that happened. Niggas done walked up on stage. We deal with that. That's real.
Oh, like yeah, actually having an altercation with somebody, right?
Yeah, nigga walked up on me at Hazel's place. Like, I'm performing, it's an open mic, and somebody put me on the show. This is after I did BET Apollo, I remember. And I was sitting there and I was like, these niggas like, I was like on the show. These niggas like, so everybody's standing because it's a rap open mic, but I'm performing, and they standing there, and then these niggas start talking shit to me, and I guess they was together. So I'm roasting this nigga, roasting that nigga, and then these niggas just start walking up closer and closer to me to the point where they was standing here, and for some reason I'm just leaned up against the wall, still doing my shit and fucking them over. Like I'm killing these niggas. And then at some point I had to tell security, like, nigga, this ain't a part of my show. Like these niggas not supposed to be this close to me, cuz. Like, and then they came and backed them niggas up, but it was like someone, I wasn't scared, I wasn't nervous, but like niggas approach you all the time and feel away. Like that's just a part of the game.
That's fucking nuts.
But I mean,
and you have to tell them that it wasn't a part of the act.
it got to a point where it was like everybody was enjoying this shit so much. It's like, I don't know what in my head was like, one of these niggas could have jabbed the shit out of you, but I'm just, and they literally here. And I was like, I had to really break that shit and was like, nigga, this ain't a part of my show. These niggas ain't really supposed to be this close up on me.
Yeah.
And they pulled them off. But
it's hilarious.
the funny thing is, it's an alternate universe where Chris Rock really did something, nigga, and we'll never get to experience it. I think about shit like that, nigga. Like, it's a different world where I mean, I don't know if that's a canon event, but I know it's different pockets somewhere, and only Dr. Strange seen it. And I would like to see what happened.
Yeah. The interstellar perspective.
Yeah, where he just slapped the shit out that nigga.
Yeah.
And then they was in there tussling.
Like Chris Rock, like new Muay Thai growing up.
And fucked him up. I just talk about the rappers. Like, a lot of rappers play characters. Like, all these rappers honestly be the same character.
Yeah, one of my friends I'm not going to mention his name, but he was actually pretty established in the rap industry. And he straight up told me, he's like, I got tattoos to become a rapper. He's like, I got chains, I got grills. And he's like, never been more miserable in my life. He's like, I don't even know who I am anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Let me grow some dreads. Let me dye these bitches.
All of a sudden, I'm hard as fuck.
Yeah, like, yeah. I'm the wildest motherfucker. So.
Little who in here.
Like, when you talk about typecast, so when I was coming up, my first inspiration was actually Jim Varney, which was Ernest P. Worrell.
I don't know neither one of them names.
You don't know who Jim Varney is?
No.
The guy who used to say, "Hey Vern." Ernest goes to school. Ernest goes to camp. Ernest goes to jail.
Oh, okay.
He had a gray hat, gray.
Okay, I know you're talking about.
And blue vest, right? So that was a guy who I watched get typecasted, and then the next biggest person for me was Pauly Shore. Pauly Shore, I was like in love with.
Hey, buddy. He was always
Encino
the stoner
Yeah,
hippie nigga.
Encino Man, Biodome, Jury Duty. He was the same dude, and you just watch that like whole character. Like you can't change too much from it for it to work again. Even his stand, I went to see him. I got drunk as fuck, dude. He was at what's that one fucking comedy place that's on what's that one place that Cosmos used to be at, or Como's used to be?
Oh.
That's
Talking about
the Magic Bag.
Oh, the Magic
Yeah,
Bag.
he was
yeah.
he was performing at the Magic Bag. I had 14 beers watching him.
What was you trying to set a rerecord? Like, why would you drink that
I
many
was
beers?
drunk as fuck, dude. So I'm getting drunk watching Pauly Shore, which was one of my idols growing up, which is crazy. But it was insane. I didn't even look at him as a comedian. I was just looking at him like, that's fucking Pauly Shore, dude. Like, I'm waiting for him to say, hey, buddy. I'm waiting for him to do all
And
that
that's
shit.
fucked up when you become a character, that you have to be what they want you to be.
I noticed what he started doing with his comedy is he started making fun of that. Like, he finally realized, like, oh, shit, I'm like,
Can't run
that
from
character is a has-been. Like, let me make fun of that actual aspect of it. When you do stand-up, do you do like self-deprecation where it's like, okay, making fun of myself is easier, or are you more of like a topics, like, let me get hands-on with what the fuck's going on right now?
Yeah, like, I mean, because in my life, I do dumb shit. So, I mean, yeah, I kind of do all of it. Like, topics that affect my life, or like you said, as far as like being self-deprecating, being like, I'm a nigga habitual cheater, and I done fucked over a lot of good women, and now I'm out here fucked up, know how to cook, eating everything out of microwave. Like, so it's like, is that self-deprecating, or is that just real?
Yeah.
It just like that. And then sometimes, nigga, like, I fuck bitches and they squirt. So it's like, nigga, I'm on both ends of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? And there's a fly in my face. Like, so how more self-deprecating can that be? But, like, you know, like, my comedy is me. It's me who I am at the time. Like, so it could be anything. It depends on how I feel that day. Like I say, I kind of go up and make it up sometimes. I go on stage and make shit up.
You don't have presets all the time?
I do. But then, like, let's say out of my set, I may fuck around and look up and be like, I only did 30% of it. Because something happened in the audience, and nigga, I heard Conan O'Brien say this, man, something about fresh baked cookies is better than the ones that's sitting there. What we just created in the moment, people are gonna laugh at it. There's just a different kind of laugh. Even though I can hit you with these jokes, they're gonna hit hard. But it's something about the shit that just we all was like, nigga, we all just experienced something.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I mean, I'm more magic than I am science. Comedy is like, but you got to master both of them.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like the balancing act besides having material, being like on stage and being able to orchestrate the crowd and being able to generate those energies to say stuff that's on the fucking flow. Like you're not even you just thought about it right there at that fucking moment.
It just happened.
Or maybe you just feel comfortable with the audience at that moment to say something you didn't think you were comfortable enough talking about, but they made you feel comfortable.
And I'm near though. Like I'm near. Like when I get up there, I make it my moment. Like this, like comedy is a language. So when I get up there, I'm gonna speak it into existence. When you do comedy, your language with them is gonna be yours. When I go up there, it's mine. You know what I'm saying? So when I kick it, they understand everything that's going on with me. So it's like, oh, he completely different than his own motherfucker. So if you can relate, you gonna fuck with it. If you can't, you gonna be entertained by seeing this story and being able to live vicariously through me.
What was the craziest reaction you've ever seen of an audience member listening to your jokes?
The craziest reaction I seen to somebody hearing one of my jokes. This lady literally was looking at me and was just like, why you ain't famous yet?
Yeah.
Like, it fucked me up. It was like, bitch, I don't know. Like, I didn't know how to answer that. Like, I don't know. Like, it was literally like she went from laughing to just like, nigga, why ain't you on? And I was like, bitch, I don't know. Do
you have a feeling inside of at all of like, what didn't take it to the next level for you?
I don't think you know, but I learned I took other people's expectations off of me. That make you depressed. Yeah. Like, people would be like, why you ain't on yet? Or you should be on. And then that'll weigh heavy on you, where it'll be like, if my shit was to stop today, bro, I done did a lot of cool shit. Enough to be like, nigga, I done did enough to where, nigga, when you talk about comedy, whether that's digital, if that's stand-up, if that's sketch, if that's improv, you can't name two motherfuckers before you name me. I'm gonna come up. So it's like, I'm in a real cool place in a city that's hard to, in a state. Like, it ain't even just in the city. Like, I'm talking about in Michigan, I'm considered one of the top motherfuckers. So it's like 50 states, 51 if you count what? What's the 51st one?
Hawaii.
It's Hawaii or is it Puerto Rico or some shit like that?
I think I don't know, dude.
It don't matter.
I didn't even know we had 51 states.
Yeah, one is 50. It's 51. I don't know what the other 51 is.
Yeah.
But like I said, to be considered that in a place like this, bro, it's like, I'm in a good ass space, dog. Like, and I'm going in the right direction because it's only the checks getting bigger, the opportunities getting bigger, and the people I'm meeting. Like, Mike Epps opening up a club. Niggas like, they gonna book you there? Yeah, they are. But in reality, I'm kind of good enough to, if they don't book me, I can do my own shit. Like, I can get a venue and put 200 to 300 people in there and sell them all merch.
No, that's legendary.
So I'm in a good place. Like, I'm more on that tip now where I'm like, that's why I want the videos to take off to where I can build an audience and have a cult following on some Tech 9 shit and be like, nigga, I have a tribe that, nigga, I feed them material and content and they give me money and love and then we keep feeding and then it just grows and grows and grows.
Yeah, like you got a show coming, your fan base, it's easy to just tell them, like, I'm going to be here and the whole place gets packed out.
Yeah, like that's why I'm more particular about where I perform at now. I turn down a lot of shows because it's like, I don't want to bring my people here, man. Y'all don't treat the comedians right. Y'all don't treat the staff right. I mean, the staff don't treat the audience members right. I would rather be like, all right, like this where I'm at here. I go to a club and be like, I need 80%. We're going to do an 80-20 split. If you don't want to do that, then I'll just go somewhere else and just do the 100 myself and pay the comedians and book the show and promote it myself. Like, I'm there. I've been doing that.
Yeah. It's like you're going to take charge of the situation instead of letting them take charge.
Because if you wait, my nigga, you at their mercy.
Yeah, fuck all that.
Yeah, these clubs will play with you.
Yeah, man. When we were talking about starving artists earlier, that's the suckiest part about starting anything and being a starving anything in the entertainment industry is because, like, to some degree, somebody else can pull you in what direction they want to. Because if money's involved or opportunities involved, you're kind of fucked. It's like, God damn it, I got to do this or else I can't eat tonight or I'm not going to have that opportunity even though this person's fucked up. Like, I don't want to
treat you like that.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to be a part of it. Just weird because entertainers are supposed to be like, I was going to ask you too, like, did you feel a difference between the comedy scene in California and Michigan and New York? Like, do you feel one is more attractive to be in or like the collaborations are better and the networking's better? Or is it all just fucked up?
LA is where you were at the time. LA was where you go if you want to get in movies, TV shows. You know, they do pilot season. So even comedians in New York go out there. Mm-hmm. But New York is where you go, in my opinion, as a stand-up to get your PhD in comedy. Like, my mindset was always to be like, and I still might do that when I get to the point where, all right, comedy is all I'm doing, where, nigga, I might just stay out in New York. I feel like it's especially the way I kind of process comedy and do it. Like if I go out there for 6 months, that shit just gonna take my comedy to another level. Cause nigga, it's 19 mics every day to grab. So that means you can take a joke and develop the fuck out of it. You can start a joke Monday and by Wednesday it's damn near finished. And then by Friday you done perfected that bitch. Like it takes a long time for certain motherfuckers to develop material. No. But a place like New York is more rapid because you got more crowds, you got more opportunities to grab it, and a diverse crowd. Yeah. So, I mean, it's all about what you're looking for now. But like, I'm real big on this, bro. You don't have to go nowhere, nigga. If you live in Sacramento, but yeah, nigga, if you live in Sacramento, if you become that nigga there, you gonna make enough noise to where like LA is a place where you want to be invited. It's like a party. You don't want to be the nigga standing in line. You want somebody to be like, hey man, what's up, man? Come out to LA. Like niggas always ask me to come to LA and I haven't went yet. Just cause I've been so busy here with shows, and I work, but just with shows to where it was like, nigga, I'm always booked to the point where I don't have a weekend to even slide over there to fuck around and do these shows. Yeah. It's like that. But yeah, bro, you can get it here.
Cause there's a circuit here. There's like a decent circuit.
The circuit's strong here now.
There's one a place that I heard about in West Bloomfield that kind of opened up in Farmington Hills. It's like connected to the duo comedy.
Oh yeah, Punchline.
Is that the Punchline?
Yeah.
That place is huge. It looks like from the outside. Is it actually?
No, it ain't. It's a little as hell.
Oh, it's small inside?
It ain't even. The comedy ain't really like that no more. They shrunk the comedy club. They ain't a comedy club.
It's hard to build a comedy club anywhere, bro. Did you ever think about starting your own?
Nah, but I know some comedians that have. Nate Jackson in Tacoma, Washington, he created one. Of course, Mike Epps, Coco had one here. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I guess it's a lot going into that, but you got to really be a staple. Like, you got to be somebody people fuck with. And it ain't like you got to be there all the time. Like, Coco was on the radio, so she was here a lot. But I think Nate Jackson is always touring.
Yeah. I noticed, too, that some people are just starting their own little events. Like, it's not even like a club, a club that's, it's like you said, like a rap stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do anything and make it happen.
Like, nigga, yeah, like right now, like, it's like, all right, if you popping enough, you can go. Nigga, it's a Crowfoot. You heard Crowfoot in Pioneer.
Yeah, of course.
Nigga, it's a Crowfoot everywhere. So it's like, nigga, not a Crowfoot, but a place that's a venue like that where you can be like, hey. And now with social media, nigga, you know what your analytics is. You can sell your audience to a venue. You can find the Crowfoot in Arkansas and be like, what's up, man? And look at your analytics. I got 300 people fuck with me here. Yeah. I want to do a show here.
Yeah, I was watching a lot of the comedians from Detroit Comedy Underground when I used to shoot for them and stuff, and I was watching how difficult it was, man. Like, you know like Bret Mercer is?
That's my guy, yeah. They over at the Independent Comedy Club. They started a comedy club in Hamtramck.
Oh, for real?
Bitch sweet, too.
There's so, like, the crew of guys that were a part of that, even though one of the dudes was on Conan O'Brien's show. He did, like, the...
Brad Wenzel.
Yep, exactly, yeah. And, like, when I saw that happen, I was like, oh, he made it. Like, that's it. It's over. Yeah. But it's not how it works, right?
Nah, man.
It's like a constant fucking grind.
He doing his thing, though. Brad moved back home, too.
That dude's hilarious.
He the truth, man. Like, it's a lot of funny comedians. And that's why I say like, we have one of the stronger scenes now. Like, our scene has come up. And now that's why all these clubs is gravitating here and these opportunities coming.
You know, that's the thing, though. So do you think that you guys could build a situation where just like, and I always use Joe Rogan as a reference because he really did it. He took his fucking friends, created a platform, and just kept rotating his friends. Like, rotate together, build, and blow up. Like, do you think that's a possibility in Detroit, or do you think it's just too hard of a...
Nah, man, you can do it because we got the shit. Like, all he did was just stay grinding with his podcast till it got big to a point to where he had the opportunity to share that platform and that light with his people. That's like what you're doing here. Yeah. So I don't know if it's your dream to put other rappers and people like that on, but this is exactly how Joe Rogan started. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just like this. So it's like, it's possible anywhere. That's the thing, man. Like, we get tied up in getting sold the dream that I got to go out here and do this. It's like, in reality, the motherfucker who's supposed to find you that you auditioning for needs you. He got to find you, because if he don't, he ain't doing his job. Yeah. So it's like, we be running around here worried about auditions and dick sucking people and, oh, I want to get in this club. It's like, nigga, the reason that he even got a job is because he has to find the next motherfucker. Yeah. When you think about it like that, take less pressure off of you. It's like, you think this gatekeeper is somebody, but nigga, he ain't got a gate to keep yet.
Yeah, man, who the fuck is that? Man, like, dude, they keep posting the gatekeeper lists on Detroit platforms.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
You on there?
Hell no, but I wouldn't even want to be on there, first of all. But if there was a gatekeeper ever, it was Trick. So every time I see those damn lists, I always go like, hold up, man. Stop just naming people that because they have platforms, man. That's not what gatekeeping is. It has nothing to do with it. But even then, sometimes I'm like just sitting there. I'm like, man, it's so serious. Like we're talking about such serious subjects. Like, where's the fucking funniness at? That's why you got to give it up to dudes like Jack Funny, right? Who are like constantly being rotated on the platforms, and you're constantly seeing their comedy.
And he having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if this shit ain't fun, if whatever you doing ain't fun, then why you doing it? Like, and once you find something that's fun to do, bro, it don't feel like work, and you can do it, and then the money come right after that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you can be a motherfucker that, you know, when I see him, bro look like he naturally just doing his thing.
Yeah.
And it's like the shit work. The shit work. What he doing?
What was it like? We're consistently working with HaHa Davis. Like you said, he was I'm pretty sure he wasn't stand up first. He was probably Instagram first.
No, he was straight Instagram.
Yeah, and then I noticed he started hopping on stage. And watching that, because you're the OG of it. Still, at the end of the day, he might have maybe a successful platform on that end, but as far as when it comes to comedy and stuff, you're the OG for sure, right?
Yeah, well, stand up, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying was comedy, stand up comedy, right? So, what's it like watching his progression? How'd you guys work together?
HaHa was cool as fuck, and like I said, we still kick it to this day. Like when I did the Hard Knock shit, he's like, "We're good shit," because I think they might even reached out to him, but I don't think he was free to do it. So it kind of that show you shit just fall to you however it fall to you.
Yeah,
but. He was always cool. The nigga never acted like, you know what I'm saying? But at the time when I first really was talking with him, he was just kind of doing it. But he seemed like a nigga ain't on shit for real. Like, he don't seem like he on the whole shit. There's some niggas out here that's like that. But seeing him blow up, like, I just get happy seeing anybody do their thing. Like, nigga, I used to work at Best Buy with Kash down, and to see what she had now, nigga, like, that shit's sweet to me. Like, it just lets you know it's real for everybody.
right. So, I mean, God, what are you talking about? We worked at Best Buy with Kash Doll?
Yeah, me and Kash, I worked at Best Buy. I just had my daughter. I was working 2 jobs. I picked the Best Buy up on some seasonal shit. Southfield and Telegraph and 12 Mile.
Wow, man.
We was at the Best Buy, my nigga. What you thought? She just was cashed out all her life?
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, apparently she worked at Best Buy with you.
Yeah,
That's
we
cool.
was selling TVs. And the funny thing about it was, nigga, she was like, she been there. I was new, so I didn't know how to really do shit. So I had finally sold my first little few TVs, and then nigga, she was showing me how to do it, and nigga, she put her name on it. I didn't even get the commission for it. and it was hard for me to get TVs sold, nigga, cause like niggas it was just selling a TV to a nigga. And nigga, I'm talking about I knew everything about them TVs. Nigga, I was like, bro, you need to get you an HDMI cord. This got a gold tip on it, nigga. That's the best conductor of metals. I was like, nah, I'm straight. She didn't know nothing about them TVs, nigga. She was in that bitch like, yeah, that's cute. Nigga was like, all right, let me get 8 of them. Like, nigga, you gonna buy 8 of them cause she said it's cute, nigga?
Yeah.
I told you the inner workings of this bitch. But yeah, we worked that out.
So she was able to sell TVs with no information, just like
she fine. Niggas just wanted to impress her. Nigga ran 8 TVs for a barbershop. Nigga, it's like you got 3 chairs in there. But because she says cute and you just want to look like you got that money, you gonna go ahead and do that. So yeah, nigga, seeing people do their thing, bro, it be like, it just lets you know it's real. It's like, yeah, nigga, she did it. He did it.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been there. I've done that. I bought shit in front of women, even though I did not have it. I was just buying, and I knew I was gonna return the shit, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna come back a Sunday. I was at the Gucci store and I did that shit, and the girl serving me was fine. So I bought it, and then I was like, I'm gonna come back Sunday and return this shit. And I hope she is not here. I tried to get her schedule beforehand, so I knew she was gonna be there or not.
This nigga say he got her schedule.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you're not gonna be here Sunday.
And the
okay?
funny part about it is, nigga, like, but then it's almost like on a commission-based tip, nigga, you can't do that over there. You can't do that, and next, you know, I don't know how commission work, but they take that money back from her. Like, nah, nigga, they bought that TV back. So you kind of got to ride that wave until at least you get the pussy, and then you be like, all right, I'm gonna take this TV back. I done hit you.
Yeah, no, you know what's weird, man? Too, it's like a girl that works at Gucci or like Louis Vuitton. I would think they're better than me.
You think they better than you because they
know.
work?
Yeah, because they work there. But I'm like, I don't even go in there like a motherfucker, whatever. I just go in there like, all right, I'm walking in here, but you work at Gucci. Like Gucci's worth millions of dollars, and I'm talking to you. Like you would never go on a date with me. Like that's how I look at them because you work at Gucci. She's wearing
that
Gucci.
bitch was in there shopping at Gucci. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
Because she got the money to spend. This bitch is a worker, just like motherfucker at Target working.
But don't you see the confidence they have? Like I'm better than you because I work at Gucci. Like
you're not better than me. You fine, and I know niggas gonna buy shit from you because they don't want to look stupid walking in here.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the play. I don't know, but I don't go in Gucci, so I couldn't be intimidated on them all. I would never walk in there.
You got to try it out. Like one time I was walking up to the door, and there's a security guy that stands out of all the luxury stores on the Somerset Mall side.
Yeah.
And he literally looked at me like, come on, bro, just stop. Like,
He looked at you?
He looked at me like, don't even walk. Like, what are you walking in here for?
What did you have on for him to look at
I
you?
was wearing Gap, and I was wearing like Gap jeans. I just wanted, he's seen my eyes. He's like, you are not going to buy anything, bro.
I'm finna say, that's weird as hell, nigga. You could have been some type of venture capitalist or some nigga, software designer. He don't know you, nigga. You could have made OK Cupid.
That's what I'm saying. I was like kind of offended. I was like, okay, so this guy knows I'm not shit. All right. But he was intimidating. This guy, I couldn't
I
pick
didn't know they had security guards in there. That's wild as hell.
every luxury store on the Somerset on the west side.
Mhm.
There's a guy that stands outside. They don't act like security, but they like check you before you get in. Like, what are you doing here? Like,
But I
you-
guess all that smash and grab shit happens, so they kind of got to be on that.
yeah, they're like, well, let's watch
But
this.
don't
guy.
make me feel bad, nigga. Let's let me walk in there and let them put me out, nigga. Don't stop me at the door. Like, nah, nigga, you ain't good enough to come in here, bitch. I'll buy this whole thing out.
Yeah, man. There's people who like I walk into stores that I can afford. I can afford Lacoste,
Yeah.
but sometimes when I walk in there, I feel like they don't think I can afford it. It's kind of uncomfortable. Like
Bro.
they kind of start like, I heard, like, what are you doing
Bro,
here?
you need to go to places where they gonna respect you, nigga. Target, Foreman Mills, nigga. Walk in stores where you can walk with your head held high. Well, they ain't gonna stop you at the door.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Hey, man, fuck
Well, you
them.
would know comedians have like a high confidence too. Like if I'm at a comedy show, the comedian on stage could be fucking like not have any portfolio or anything. But if he starts pointing at me and talking to me, I'm like, oh shit,
Well,
the
that's
stand up
just-
is talking to me. Oh, look, the comedy
That's the
guy.
stage, though, man. The stage give you a presence.
Yeah, right.
To where it look like, you know, because in reality, you doing something that most people wouldn't do. Like, I think Jerry Seinfeld said it. They say more people would rather be the person in the casket than the person giving the eulogy at the funeral.
Whoa.
Like, nigga, that's how scared people are of talking in public. So it's like, I didn't realize it at the time. They're like, yeah, this is some powerful shit you do. Like, so up there, like, that's why singers and niggas who could really rap, like, nigga, in comedy, it's just, I put comedy on another level, but it's like, yeah, nigga, it's like, it's some shit to be able to go up and make a bunch of people laugh.
Remember the hardest times for comedians was obviously when everybody was getting canceled, right? And there was just like a nonstop, like, you're canceled. Some people made it through, some people didn't. For various reasons, obviously, like you have like more of the sexual side of it. Those guys got canceled for
Oh, yeah.
appropriate reasons. But then you also had the side of, you know, you said something. Dave Chappelle was like, we got to start locking up our phones now.
Yeah.
Because you guys are recording shit and it's getting leaked. And it's like, what the fuck happened here? This is crazy. Like, that was a weird era for comedy. I don't even know how you guys got out of it, but you guys got out of it.
Because people just start saying, man, this shit ain't for you. Like, it go back to the Chris Rock shit. Y'all don't like his special because y'all don't like him as a comedian. Y'all only here because of the spectacle that happened. Y'all want to hear what he said about it. And he said it at the end and it was a 2-minute blurb. Everything else was his stand-up. So you're not supposed to like it because it wasn't for y'all. It's for fans of this motherfucker. So when it comes to it, don't come watch my show and then be like, oh, I didn't like what you said. Well, nigga, it wasn't for you. Even if you up there ripping, bro, you can be tearing this bitch up. It's probably one person like, I didn't think that was funny.
Yeah.
That's just the odds, bro. So it's like, just because you didn't think it was funny, that wasn't for you.
Yeah.
So don't come fuck with me no more. Now you know not to come. You know what I'm saying? That's like whatever going on in that next room. I open the door and bro, what the fuck y'all doing in here, man? Stop. I'm gonna call the police. Nigga, you wouldn't know if you wasn't in here fucking with us. We having fun. We enjoying ourselves.
Yeah. But then it's like you say something offensive. I remember when I was a fucking kid and I was at Renaissance Festival, they had the Jokers telling jokes and then they pointed out, they're like, anybody who wears Gap is broke. And I was wearing Gap. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, what's happening? Like, this guy's eyes.
This nigga said, "Oh, what's happening?"
I was mad for the rest of the night. Like, I was hurt. But then you get into real subjects, like people are talking about your gender
Yeah.
or where you work or whatever. And then people are, the whole gender thing was going crazy. So people in the audience are like, I have the right to be fucking offended here, and I'm gonna find a news blog article to promote this and market it. So, or like, tell a fucking whatever station.
But it's like the thing about the people mad about talking about their gender. What about when people talk about people being broke? Now, are you fucked up for laughing at them? Now we just can't laugh at nothing.
Yeah, right.
So you gotta let that go, bro. I always say anything is funny. At some point, we laugh at people's death. Like, at some point, that becomes a thing that we can make fun of. Depending on how good you are, it can be sooner than others. So I just learned to let shit be what it is, man, and don't take it personal. Now, it's one thing if somebody go on stage and say some shit directly about you, nigga, then you can scrap down with a nigga about that. But in reality, man, you gotta let people have they fun, bro. Like, my daughter listen to fucking weird ass, all this nigga Cola Ray. Oh girl, what you call her daughter? Benzino daughter. I don't think the bitch shit, but I can't stop my daughter from liking her. That's her swag. That ain't my bag. I gotta let her have it. I can't be like, this shouldn't exist because I don't like it. That ain't fair, nigga. What about the shit you like that somebody don't like? So we just gotta get out of taking shit so personal and let people have fun.
Yeah, hopefully. I think it balanced back up again where everybody was like, just fuck you. We're just gonna do this anyway.
Internet gave everybody an opinion and you can put it up now.
Yeah.
So, and if you on the internet, I don't know if it's the algorithm or not, but you can find a bunch of people that feel the way you feel about something. So if you do that and enough people say something, it's always somebody on one side of the argument and another side. And then it's somebody at the top thinking, both y'all stupid. Why do y'all even care? Why y'all even comment on this? I catch myself being like, why am I finna comment on this thing? It's like nothing I'm finna say, no matter how intellectual or insight I give, it ain't gonna change shit. So let me just mind my business and keep it to myself.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, I do see that. My comments go crazy where, like, people will be on talking about the podcast clips, and I'm like, damn, man, like, is it this important? Like, I get it. Like, the first, maybe one conversation about it, but to continue it going is, how much time do you have on your hands, goddamn?
People
like,
got a lot of time, yo.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of free Wi-Fi out here, man. And niggas be just sitting around on their break at their job and be on their shit.
One of my favorite quotes is like, everybody's tough until the power turns off. Like, like everybody's got, your cell phone.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like
when them satellites fall out of the sky, we all fucked up.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh shit, you ain't really shit. All right, bet.
Yeah, you can't find the switch, nigga, in the dark. Nigga, you better make a bow and arrow.
Yeah, well, I'm lucky. Like, and so when social media was, when they were making those apps and those filters and stuff, I was getting catfished like crazy, son. And that's when I started realizing, all right, man, the social media shit ain't real. Like, I was going.
You was getting catfish out.
I was going to girls' houses that, like, I almost thought it was a dude when they opened the door. Like, that's how catfish. You know what catfish is?
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, okay, I thought the
Yeah.
person wasn't a person, but they looked so much different that you was like, bitch, this is a catfish.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, I'm still gonna hit it, but damn, like,
You
that's
a wild boy for
crazy.
fucking an animal.
I was fucking.
This boy fucking monsters.
I was fucking. When I was a free man, I was going. I'm not even supposed to be talking about this, but I was fucking going crazy, son. I was just fucking one girl.
But you should, bro. You kid is.
Not anymore, but yeah.
I mean, yeah. Oh, you got a girlfriend.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, at the time, you should have been going crazy.
We're talking about time.
Did you meet her via the internet?
I can't disclose.
Oh, okay.
Can't disclose
My
anything.
bad. I didn't know
Yeah,
we was being
I'm
so evasive. Nigga, this ain't no disposition.
I'm trying to keep my personal life as personable as possible, because I realize when my information gets leaked on the internet, like my relationships end. You know what I'm saying?
How many
like,
relationships have ended due to you talking on your podcast?
So I was fucking like at one point. Okay, from last year till this year, before I had my girlfriend, I fucked like anywhere from 30 to 40 women. Okay.
Damn, you a savage.
I was going crazy, son. But all these women would stop fucking with me once I talked about them on the podcast. They'd be like, you can't just tell people our story on fucking the internet.
You don't say their name, but you
I
say
don't
my
say
girl.
the name. I was just like, this girl that I'm hooking up with, or this girl that I was with. And they were like, I don't want you talking about me. I don't care if you don't say my name or not. You're not going to talk about us fucking on the internet.
Well, I guess that is something that you gotta kind of be careful with. But it's like, I think most people realize, like, if you in my life, I might bring you up, but I don't. And that's the arrogance of people sometimes. People are like, don't do no skit about me. It's like, nigga, you ain't.
So you don't talk about your personal life to that degree?
I do. And I have, even on podcasts, but it be like, you kind of got to, that come with the, I know how to do it in a way where a nigga, they ain't gonna know it's you, but if something happened and it's funny or interesting, I'm gonna talk about it. So it's like, cause I talk about everything with me, but I guess you just got to kind of come into that. So I'm saying, like, your girl now has to understand that might happen, because you speak on a wide variety of things, and if something triggers something, you might be like, my girl did that.
Well,
and
yeah,
speak on it.
the day that we were officially exclusive, I made a post that morning about how if I date any girl, I'm gonna cheat on her. And so she canceled our date that night after seeing that clip. She's like, so you're about to cheat on me?
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, this is comedy. Like, this is, I mean, yeah, I used to, no, I'm not going to cheat
This
on you.
nigga said that's comedy.
No, what I'm saying is, like, I used to think like that. You know, you could take old thoughts and
rehash them.
Yeah, rehash them and put them into, on the internet. That's what I was doing. I used to always think about that. Like, yeah, if I was going to start dating a girl, I'd cheat on her just to get the experience out, right?
Yeah.
Just to see what it was like to do it.
To cheat on her?
To cheat on any woman. Like, to date a woman, be like, hey, we're together. And then, like, knowing in my mind I'm going to purposely cheat on her just to see what's up.
Yeah.
Just to see how it feels to get caught when she opens up the door. Right.
Oh, you want to get caught like that?
Yeah, I was like, oh, let me just see how it goes down. Like, she's about to pull up. Oh, you got to hide under the bed. Oh, like, that sounds fun to me. I wanted to do it. But when I started dating her, I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that.
He's a wild dude.
Yeah, but when I started dating her, I was like, I'm not going to do that to her, but that's my thoughts. Like,
But in her head, she like, I don't know, I could be a victim of this.
yeah, so she was like, you're scaring me. She's like, you posted something about you're going to cheat on whatever woman you date. She's like, what if it's me? And I'm like, it's not. Just trust me. So you got to realize, even women, like, when you're dating a guy in the entertainment industry, there's a lot of shit we're going to say. People talk about fucking in songs.
I talk a lot about fucking. And a lot of that shit, like, my girl one time told me, she was like, it's almost disgusting. I was like, well, kind of, that's just where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
So, I had to really have a talk with her about it. Like, it was like, this is a topic that's on my mind a lot, and I kick it about that a lot. But you just gonna have to trust that I'm not on that shit no more. And then you got to do a good job, if you're really not on that, proving to her that you're not on that tip.
Yeah.
Or just being good at her not finding out about it.
So your jokes got you in trouble too in relationships?
Kash, kick his shit, stories I told, jokes I tell. Like, I've talked a lot of shit about cheating, because I was a terrible nigga.
You were a cheater?
I was the cheater. I was him. That guy. I was bad. Like at one point I had cheated on every woman that I had ever dated.
You regret
Like it was like I would cheat and I'd be with somebody and then I'd be cheating and then she would be the next girl I would be with. And then I would cheat on her. I was bad, bro. I had a sex addiction, bro. I had to chill. Like I had to get help.
Really?
I was wild.
What school did you go to for addiction?
This nigga said a school. Xavier School for the Extraordinary
Cheaters?
Therapist. No, nigga, I just got a therapist and was talking to that nigga and I was like talking that shit out. Women are not objects and all that shit, bro. Like it was real. I think we over sexualize though, just as a culture because man, it's pussy everywhere. Like nigga, it's like if you're an alcoholic, this is like a flask. Like nigga, I can pull up like Twitter, bitches everywhere.
Right.
Adam 22 bitch getting fucked on, and then I can go on here and look up Sukiyana throwing up on dicks. Like anything I want, I can have and see. It's like, bro, we kind of fucked up. I think it's a lot more of that. A lot more of us got that shit.
You think we're at a disadvantage because of the technology?
When it comes to what?
The access we have to sex?
Yeah, you can get pussy anytime. Like the fact that you fucking 30 people is a lot.
It was
'cause
crazy.
you're not that attractive. So that just lets you know that it's too much pussy out here for us, bro. And it's like, yeah, like dog, at any moment. And it's like, bro, if you got a problem, you can definitely get into something. Whether that's paying for or finessing your way, not finessing, or easily getting your way into some pussy. Like, you know, with social media, I can run your background from everything you like.
Look, when I was kicking it with Scoob, like where I was in the pictures all the time and we were like all close and having those pictures together, I was crazy. When he was like going crazy, a whole lot of choppers is dropping, me and him were kicking it, pictures. I post that shit on my gram. I had 50 girls in my DMs like, what are you doing tonight? Where you about to be at?
It's like that.
Oh, Scoop's pulling up at 12. She pulls up at 10:30. Where is he at? I don't know. We end up fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like I was using all. Damn, I shouldn't be saying this shit on camera, right?
Well, it's too late now.
All right, well, anyway.
Shout out to you getting my dog some pussy because Scuba Ruffles should pull up.
Women used to be like, how do I get in contact with them? And then I used to be like, send nudes. Damn, I shouldn't be saying any of this. Anyway, they would do it. And I just felt like I was using my powers for evil instead of good.
But they was on some evil shit. They was using theirs.
Yeah, facts.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no honor amongst thieves, bro.
Facts.
Yeah, but this shit like that is it's skeechy for real. Like it's women that'll fuck you just because you're good.
What was the most fucked up cheating experience you've ever had? Where like, did you ever have to go from like, I used to have women at hotels and then another girl come in while I had to get that girl out.
Oh,
that wasn't cheating though. This was just like rotation.
I had some shit like that where one of my girls, my girl at the time, she was super drunk to the point where she's passed out, and I called another girl over to the crib and I fucked in the room next door. Like that's when I was like, I got a problem. I was like, bro, what's wrong with you? Like the fact that, okay, nigga, your girl knocked out, you can fuck her when she get up. But the fact that you called another girl over there and was like, come on. And then it was like, we going to another room, you gotta be quiet. My daughter in another room. I lied, made up some shit, and we fucked and she left. And it was like, the scenario, nigga, what could have happened if she would have came in and da-da-da-da, bam, bam, bam. It was like, nigga, what are you thinking about? But it was just, nigga, I had to fuck something. It was like, nigga, that shit was weird.
Was that the moment you realized, like, okay, I gotta...
I didn't realize it then. We laughed about it, I told my niggas about it, and then it was like we laughed, but then it was just like more and more. Like once I fucked over this one girl, it was like, yeah, that was my wife. And it was like, that's when I realized I gotta chill, cause dog, it get to a point where this shit get weird. Like it get weak after a while. Like once you done fuck, it's only 3 types of motherfuckers you can really fuck, and once you do it, you done had it all. And then you get older and realize what's more important. And that's where I'm kind of at in life with it. It's like, man, all that other cheating shit is weak. I'm off that shit. I done had it. I done it all. I had my run.
Yeah, like you have your run, and then you gotta realize, like, if you keep running, then you're never gonna find something real. So you gotta slow down.
Yeah, you had your fun though. Like, yeah, you supposed to fuck bitches that want to fuck rappers that you friends with. But then it get to a point like, nigga, you don't want to be the 60-year-old nigga doing that.
Yeah, I could have done it for a minute, but it's good to slow down. It's good to stop and like reflect and be like, all right, this is enough.
Yeah.
Enough is enough. Enough fucking, like, you know, 1 minute you're fucking a 60-year-old, the next to 50, the next to 40, next to 30. I was going crazy, son.
And then you wild. And then then what happened when you get to these celebrity nigga status where they done had so much pussy, now they want people to put Legos in their ass, or they might want to fuck a dude that look like a girl. These niggas get weird cravings after they done had so much pussy.
I was looking for 3 more experiences before I checked out.
What's left?
I was supposed to do Asian. I never got to do that.
Okay.
Okay, so I never got to do a random situation where a girl's like, come in the other room and pull her pants down and just put it in. Like that, just at that, like we were working at the office and that shit.
You can do that with your girl, but let's keep moving.
But I'm saying, like, I didn't get to do it with a random stranger, like where it's just like, oh, it clicks that moment.
Okay.
And then I wanted to do Filipino for sure.
Filipino and Asian ain't the same?
Yeah, I think they are. So I really wanted to do an Asian. That sucked, man.
So all you need to do is get an Asian to give you some pussy on some random shit, and then you kind of knocked it all out.
It would have if that was the last one for sure.
Yeah, that'd be hard. Where you like, oh, I gotta.
It was in the works, and then I got in a relationship. It was over.
Well, it's good. A relationship the best place to be in, bro. You gonna produce your best material like this. If she right for you, she gonna help build up everything. She gonna give you what you need to build this up. If that's what she's supposed to do, that's what I believe.
Facts, man. Plus,
right one.
in Asia they make sex robots that are Asian. So I feel like when that time comes,
They make them specifically Asian, or you can order them Asian.
I think you can order them. I seen it because this dude on 17 Mile. Anyway,
Okay.
man, it's a long story, but there's Asian sex dolls that are fire.
Well, that's cool. I was gonna say that's racist if they only make Asians. I was like, if you can make your own, like I might.
It was weird, man. It was like I went to the back room.
Yeah, like build a bitch. Like, but I think it'd be sweet. Like I would like a Asian mixed with black, because I like not Janae Aiko, but her sister, Mila J. It's something about that Asian and African American blend that's spectacular.
So there's like the sex store, and it's called it's not called Lover's Lane, but it's by here.
Cirillas.
Nah. It's called like Lane's Lovers. It's like some weird shit.
Lane's Lovers.
So it's like an old dude when you walk in with like a gray beard and shit. He looks like a fucking scientist, right? And he took me into the back room. He's like, I got something for you.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's up, man? I came in here for just like a fleshlight. And then he takes me to the back room, opens up the door, and there's literally like just sex dolls everywhere. And I'm like looking at the price tags, like 5,000, 6,000.
Grip.
Yeah. I'm sitting there, I'm like, what's so special about these? He's like, I'll give you a sample. And I was like, man. So I'm just sitting there thinking about this for a whole minute, like, damn, do I want to check this out?
What
But
kind of sample he was gonna give you?
like I could hit it. Like,
What, nigga? You was gonna fuck a random sex doll?
And the only reason I didn't do it is because he was like to me, yeah, the last guy loved it. I'm like, I'm not fucking, I'm about to fuck this bot.
Unless he gonna bust a brand new one open. It's like, you gonna let me fuck another one like somebody already done hit her?
Yeah, it was like, you remember how you could go play Nintendo 64 at like Kmart?
Yeah, let you play it.
Yeah, that's what was going on.
Nah, bro.
So I'm like,
Ain't no way that he was finna let you do that.
Yeah, it was wild.
Nah, ain't no way. The other guy, why would you say some shit like that?
What?
Why would he say some shit like that? Why would he tell you the other guy loved it?
Oh, this
nigga?
guy didn't give a fuck. He was into that shit. Like, if I wanted to hit it with him, he would have done it. For facts, son.
He's over there like, don't worry, I hit it with some quarter.
Yeah.
All right, so now that you're not into that lifestyle anymore, your therapist talked to you. He was like, he got you out of the wanted to be a sexual.
Yeah, I got a
Powers.
different look on sex now.
Do you feel like you're forcing, or do you feel like it's real?
No, I feel it's real. Like, bro, sex is better when you give a fuck about the person.
Yeah.
In my opinion, how I've learned. Like, I had sex with motherfuckers I didn't care about. It was the equivalent of jacking off, and it feels stupid. It's like you jack off. I feel stupid when I jack off. Even though I do it, about I feel stupid. And then when you fuck somebody you don't really care about, it's like, why did I do that? So it's like you start thinking about all that shit was an ego thing, and now that I got ego out the way, it's like, nigga, nah, I'm only gonna fuck. And it's like, nigga, a self-love thing. I don't know if any nigga ever talked like this in here. I feel like it's a lot of drug dealers and shit be in here, and we talking about fleshlights and self-love.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the worst podcast ever, view-wise. But fuck them.
Yeah.
Once you start moving in a certain way and start looking at yourself a different way, bro, you not gonna just fuck anybody, bro. Done with that shit. Like, nigga, why am I fucking on you for real?
Yeah.
Why I'm fucking on you? Like, it ain't no point no more, bro. Like, I'm just off of that, like, randomly fucking strange bitches. It ain't sweet no more.
What was it? Did you have were you able to curate like the experiences, like when you had a girl for long enough where like they would want to do what you want to do? Like, what do you like? I used to be into that. Like, I liked when they would learn stuff, like do this.
Yeah, a woman, anything a woman do, a nigga introduced her to. Like, yeah, I was the first person who took a thumb in her ass, hitting her from the back.
Yeah.
I spit in her mouth.
Oh my God.
I mean, choking is kind of par for the course, but yeah, like, we wildin'.
Yeah.
We wildin'. I'm not the freakiest nigga, but you know what I'm saying? I ain't done some things.
I was hooking up with this Italian MILF, and she sucked my balls for the first time. I had never got my balls sucked.
She
ever.
introduced you to something,
Yeah, and I had a girlfriend for 7 years before that.
and she never sucked your
She
balls.
never sucked my balls. She's like, you gotta shave, and I was like, it's not happening. So
Oh, you didn't want to shave? Your nuts
yeah,
is wild.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Oh.
It was like a jungle, right? So this Italian MILF starts doing it. I'm like, what's happening? What's going on here? I'm like, this is what kind of experiences? I thought she was licking something else. I was like, you gotta stop doing that.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm licking your balls. You've never had that? I was like, no, this is crazy. So she was so good at doing it that I kept thinking, like, how am I ever gonna get married when nobody's gonna be able to do it? Like, I need her in my life.
I mean, you suck my balls all the time.
I need you like twice a month minimum,
Come
bro.
put these balls in your mouth. And they're Italian, they're hairy people, so they're not scared of her.
Yeah, she was.
So
She was
done.
flawless though.
But I'm just saying, like, she's used to it, so the fact that
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, you had a little fro down there, she wasn't tripping.
It scared me because I was like, okay, I'm never gonna get my balls sucked like this again. That's scary. Like, I remember somebody was like, "What's your biggest fantasy?" And my fantasy was like, me and her are on top of a building, like a skyscraper,
That's wild. Okay.
and we're making out, and then I slip and my hand grips against the cliff like I'm about to fall off. But I'm
Yeah.
held on, and then she tries to pull me up, but then I pull her down. And when she comes down, she gets to my pants and pulls my pants down.
Okay.
And then her hands are getting too tired, so she can't hold on. So I'm like, you gotta use your mouth on my balls. You gotta suck my balls to stay up.
The suction.
And she would use the suction of her mouth on my balls to stay alive.
The suction.
And I feel like the strength of the suction would be like, you can't do, like your life is on the line at this point. So you're never gonna suck balls better than this.
And then terminal velocity is pulling her down.
Yeah, and it's
like
like
when you drop a penny and it can kill somebody.
Yeah.
So her holding on and the suction with the that's a different type of shit.
yeah.
That's some wild ass Fast and Furious type shit. Like if Fast and Furious did a porn, that'd be what Toretto would probably get into, hanging from a cliff, getting his balls sucked on.
That's what I'm about, man.
That's wild. I don't think I've had nothing
From a helicopter by his balls.
by his balls
Yeah, the suction's unreal.
for the family.
But I'm glad that you got conscious. Like, right, you made a adult decision, which is hard for a lot of people that have options.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get to do what you do, so they don't understand it. Right, when you're like a celebrity in the comedy world and women want to fuck you all the time, like 99% of men don't get those opportunities.
Yeah, they always say you as faithful as your options. So if don't nobody want to fuck you, it's easy to not fuck nobody. But if you can fuck, if people want to fuck you, and then you kind of feel like, if I'm in a room long enough with somebody, it's not too many people I can't get and be a part of
Fire.
and kick it like that. So it's like you gotta learn, like, yeah, all right, that's cool, but dog, it's a lot go with that. And then dog, when you fucking around with women, bro, it's like you kind of get their problems. Like, so whatever her problems is, and all women got their own set of problems, it's like, do you even feel like dealing with it? So it's just like, and then if I'm with you, I can't not fuck with you all the way. You damn near my girlfriend. So I had to chill with all that. Everybody don't deserve your energy and your time, bro. And I'm focused on comedy and my kids and nigga, just me being a good person. And like, that's why I just try to move the way I move, bro.
One thing I wanted to touch on before we close out is one of the first times I seen you on social media. Like, I already had seen you in person, but when I went on social media, it was hilarious too, because you had the 911 operator skits that you were doing, which got jocked by like so many fucking people. It was crazy.
Man,
to see.
that's some old. I don't think they jocked by me, but I think it's just an idea, a smart idea to do.
But it was like you were probably the first person to do it the way
Somebody
you were doing
said that to me too. But I look at it like this though, it's like, man, we all pull from the pool of inspiration, right? So you go scoop it out and you do what you do with it, but eventually it evaporate and go right back into the pool. So I seen a country motherfucker do it. I know he ain't seen me do it, but he just thought like it'd be funny if a nigga from Houston did 911s and another nigga 911. So, bro, ideas, man, you know, they come and go. It's about who do it better, and then you leave it there. But yeah, the 911s was some shit. And
Those
I
are
get
hilarious.
bored though, so I can't really be consistent on shit like that. Like, once I do it and it's fun and it's funny, having to do it again feel like a job, and then I don't feel like I can put the same energy into it.
What was the highlight for you so far of everything you've done? Did you ever get to meet anybody like that was a comedian and get the respect from certain peers that meant a lot to you, or like certain situations you ever been a part of?
I met a lot of people. I even met Tommy Davidson, the one I told you, like, first person I saw, made me want to do comedy, like stand-up. And he was cool, and I told him he ain't seem to give a fuck. But that one, I think when my dad saw me do comedy, he really was like, oh, nigga, you really sweet. Like, we was at They Say downtown. They did an open mic there. They still do. And it was packed, and my dad just came and whatever, and then they called me on stage to perform, and I went and I rocked that bitch. And then I remember walking around, and my daddy was sitting here in like the other room. And then I came, and he was gone, and this motherfucker made his way to the stage and was getting all the accolades from the shit I did just because I came off that nigga. And it was just like, oh, okay, so he really see it's real. Like, you know, you hear your son do comedy, what that mean? And then, yeah, he been silly all his life. But to see me do it and see the way I did it, he was like, I could tell he fucked with it. So that was like one of the biggest moments for me. I think I'll never forget that.
Yeah, man, having your dad see it, and like, especially because the entertainment industry is so, there's just a darkness to it. Nobody knows if there's success, so you're scared of anybody who gets involved in it.
Yeah.
But then he saw like, no, you fucking got it.
Yeah, he saw I got it. Then he see me go pick up a check. I won a competition in Chicago. We went and picked up about 2-3 bands and came back. He was like, oh, ain't you making money? Like on some bank job type shit. Like, nigga, you came here, won the competition, we left. So it was like that. But yeah, I don't think nothing rivaled that to this point.
Did you do the Comedy Store?
Yeah, I did. I knew people. Like, my homeboys was in, so I got to do like I was on a fast track out there. Like, I was going out there, and nigga, I went and did there's this thing called Friends and Family, where you get to audition and like in front of the booker, and nigga, I went up and you get like 3 minutes. And niggas was like, bro, we ain't never seen nobody rip like that in them 3 minutes.
Sick.
And then COVID happened, and then nigga, nobody could breathe out loud no more. So then I came home. But yeah, like I was out there. I did the Comedy Store. I didn't get a chance to do the Laugh Factory, but I was in there. And yeah, I did the Comedy Store.
You know, Joe Rogan started like in Texas too. Is that like a new hot spot to check out?
Austin is the spot now.
Is it?
It's one of the top spots. Like all the comedians are moving down there, which let me know like it's like Bitcoin. By the time you hear about it, it's too late.
Yeah.
It ain't really worth the word no more. So it's the shit now. But by the time everybody make their way down there, Austin probably ain't gonna be the spot and whatever. But I hear the club is amazing. It's set up for comedians perfectly. He pays comedians like Comedy Store pay $25 a set. I think they pay $100 there, and you can get 6 or 7 sets a week. So you can really go down there and make money.
Yeah.
So from what I heard, I don't even know if I was supposed to just say that out loud.
What
I just
How
said.
much they pay?
Yeah, but that's weird. But I did.
I can cut it out. I don't care.
No, I ain't cutting it out.
Yeah.
But I said it. But
Yeah, I think it's called the Mothership.
it's called the Mothership. Yeah,
and
that's like what Mike doing up here. Like it's his version of it, just an urban club.
you talking about the Detroit Comedy.
One Mike
Underground?
stand.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
one Mike stand. One Mike.
Oh, yeah,
One
yeah.
Mike Detroit.
Yeah,
Mike
Epps'
Epps' club.
Yeah, I felt bad for him when he was here. Like he was trying to say like take photos with everybody, and then like everybody just rushed him. He's like, I can't. I gotta get the fuck out of here. I was
You
like,
can't do that. That's the weird part about it. Like running up on people taking pictures. Like I don't think we give celebrities enough credit to be like, you do realize that you're not the only person that did it. And he probably just don't. Can he not feel like it? And you just happen to be the unlucky person that caught him at the wrong time.
what do you think the biggest stand-up specials are that everybody should check out? Like that will change your perspective of comedy or take it to the next level.
Ooh, that's a geeky question. That's a comedy geek question. I think Patrice O'Neal, Elephant in the Room is one you watch. It'll open your mind to it. That I think Chappelle's For What It's Worth.
Yep.
That's my favorite of his. And Bill Burr, Paper Tiger, cause man, you can tell he not scared to say what he said, cause he said some shit about Michelle Obama that was hilarious, and she's like the most beloved human being on the planet. And he said, yeah, she got a book, and it's like, what is the book about? Like, you know what I'm saying? What did she write in there? Like, how to know what a presidential dick tastes like? I was like,
Oh my
that was
god,
hard.
that's fire.
That was hard. Like, I was like, yeah, because it's like, you just still want to be funny and be edgy and be yourself and be like, I didn't mean nothing by it, but yeah, what is she doing? Like, what did she do to deserve a big book tour? She didn't do anything. She wasn't the president. So yeah, those three right there. I think that's it. I'm trying to think of anything else. My homeboy Leonard Oots got a special that's coming out through 85 South. So go watch that. It's called Big Joker. That's my homeboy.
My favorite shit was when I used to watch Comedy Central. They had like the Comedy Central Presents.
Premium Blend and shit like that.
Yeah, they had Dat Fan on there. If anybody doesn't know who Dat Fan is, he was like this Asian comedian. He used to talk about how his
You like
parents.
a lot of Asian shit, don't you?
Oh shit, I forgot. Yeah, he is Asian. Yeah, that's right.
That's
yeah,
wild
but
as hell.
go check out Dat Fan too. Dat Fan's hilarious. I messaged the motherfucker. I couldn't believe he responded because you feel like, oh shit, like I used to see you on TV type shit. And then he's like, yeah, what up, man? Thanks. I'm like, what the fuck? But motherfuckers are like
accessible.
Yeah, like some comedians are like, nah, man, I'm still out here like that. Like it ain't.
How many followers did he have?
Dog, it wasn't much, bro.
But that be that way. Like you get on TV and a motherfucker might only have 4,000 followers, but they just put him in a position to do what he do. So that's funny.
Yeah, they are, but they do it. We're gonna have you back on. If you want to come back on, man, this was all. I feel like this was insightful.
Yeah.
And the next one, we're gonna talk some shit.
Let's talk some shit next time.
Yeah.
I want to come over here and tell people like I was the first person to do something.
Yeah.
And I want to sit here like I don't really want to be here.
Yeah.
Like they be doing. That'll be hard.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I like these the first talks. The first talks is like we get to know each other, understand each other. We're both that.
I didn't realize that's what you did here.
Yeah. Like, well, you see, a lot of people don't know the trick to my podcast because a lot of people always want to come back, and I'm like, no, you suck, dog. Like
That's funny.
You don't know how to.
And then y'all said you ain't bringing nobody else. I was like, oh, I guess you do see a lot of entourage just come through here. I didn't realize that. I'm gonna make sure I beef my entourage up and bring some
you gotta come deep, bro.
bring some motherfuckers.
You never know what
with
could
me.
go down over here, son. You feel me? People could want to hurt me, and then you're in the way. People could be like, I don't want your
Nah,
podcast to exist,
They
bro.
can't trip out here, dog. Y'all out in the suburbs.
Hey, don't tell people that. This is Detroit.
Oh
This is
yeah,
the
my
ghetto.
bad, y'all. This is the Detroit area.
Yeah, man, it's dangerous. Don't pull up.
Yeah, don't pull
we got
up.
Navy SEAls and shit outside.
Shit wild as hell. Somebody breaking in my car now. That's why I'm finna leave.
Yeah, exactly.
I hear my alarm going off, dog.
Yeah, man. Have you ever gotten your car stolen during a comedy act?
How about no, I haven't. Why? You think that's a thing?
You're just.
No, I ain't never had that happen when I was on stage. That'd be wild as fuck getting your car stolen while you're on stage. I wouldn't know what to do.
That's a good bit right there on the spot.
I mean, yeah, but then I ain't got no car. But like, nigga, you don't want your life to be so real and fucked up that it's like, nigga, this the only funny shit I got. Like, only fucked up shit have like, cool, my uncle died. Now I can go in here with a hot 15.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't think nothing wild happened on stage while I was performing. I had 2 women at the show and I got caught up on some shit at a show. But
2 women that were dating you at the same time?
It was my oldest daughter, mama, and I told this joke on one of my comedy albums. And this chick I was dating at the time, I was messing around, cheating with her. And they was there at the same time, and it all went down. We'll tell the story in the next one.
All right, for
I
sure.
don't want to give all that up right now,
Yeah, we're
man,
going to have a part 2.
because I don't live like that no more, but we can talk about it because these are testimonies, so nigga, you can live right.
We'll do a series of
That'd be hard.
Josh Adams. Appreciate you being part of this, man. First stand-up comic on the show.
Thank you.
It was an honor, man. Like I said, the first time I saw you, bro, was legendary. You cut up the whole crowd. It was inspirational to see what a real comedy is when you have to make something from nothing.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lost art, crowd control. So really legendary to see you here on this couch, man. We'll have you back soon.
For sure.
We're at Parallel Sound Studio, High Low Visual Shootings Productions. We're out. Peace.